halfway through the season, Vandy third baseman Austin Martin is third in the nation with a .449 batting average. Leads the Commodores into Athens to play a Georgia team that just keeps on winning. Connor Tate, latest guy to step up, leading the Dogs to a series win last weekend at Kentucky. It's number 4 Vandy and number 7 Georgia. Huge SEC series starts tonight here at Foley Field. This is what they're fighting for. First place overall in the standings. Georgia's there at 7-2. Vandy right behind in that East Division at 6-3. And good evening, I'm Matt Stewart, joined by former Georgia Bulldogs catcher, assistant coach, and two-time minor league all-star Jason Jacobs. And Jason, not quite to the halfway point of the conference schedule, but first place is first place, and that's what these two teams are fighting for this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not only the bragging rights, but the momentum that they get in fighting for this spot of first place gives them a little bit of confidence, a little bit of breathing room going forward. So, absolutely, I think this is a big weekend for both teams. Kind
of best on best, if you will, this weekend. Let's start with Georgia's best, Emerson Hancock, their number 1 starter, sub-1 ERA still.
And he's just remarkable with his stuff. It's in the zone, he gets swing and misses. He's got a good breaking ball he can go to, an explosive fastball with good action. And then late he can go to the changeup and get the swing and misses from the lefties as well. So just phenomenal stuff out of Emerson Hancock. Vanderbilt's going to have their hands full.
Facing one of the hottest power hitters in the entire nation, J.J. Bleday, the SEC Co-Player of the Week. He's homered 6 times for the last 6 games.
And this is a guy, if you're Georgia, you got to say he can't beat us. And we got to try and find a way to face him with nobody on base, because he's going to do it, power to all fields, and he comes through in the clutch, gets the big hit when his team needs it to get them to victory.
Just like he did on Wednesday night in their 5-4 victory against Western Kentucky. Hit the home run that tied it in the 9th, and then in the 10th had the RBI single for the walk-off victory. And that's the potent Vanderbilt offense that Emerson Hancock will be facing tonight, the Bulldogs sophomore right-hander out of Cairo, Georgia.
And again, Emerson just has great stuff. Fastball is going to be 93 to 96. Great poise in tough situations. Fills the zone up with strikes. And as I mentioned, it's because his stuff is swing and miss in the zone, so he doesn't need to venture out of it too often. So I think Vanderbilt's going to have their hands full. I think Emerson Hancock's going to have his hands full. This is going to be an entertaining game to watch.
6-1, 0.98 ERA, which is the number 2 ERA in the Southeastern Conference. Facing a Vanderbilt batting order, 4 right-handers and 5 left-handers. Starts at the top with Cooper Davis, then Austin Martin, we just talked about a few moments ago, and also J.J. Bleday. Very potent top 3. Then you go Scott Clark and Paul Raby, and Infante Raby, the starting pitcher tomorrow, the DH. They will pinch hit for him when they get to the number 8 spot in the Vanderbilt order. 323 batting average, which is number 2 in the conference, and the Commodores averaging 8.4 runs per game, which is also second in the SEC. And Davis goes after the first pitch and fouls it out of play. Davis out of Ontario, Canada. Starting center fielder for this Vanderbilt team, 376 batting average, which is number 5 in the SEC. No homers and 19 RBI. Backed off the plate with the fastball, and it's 1-1. 479 on base percentage, which is number 4 in the conference, and the Commodores lead the SEC overall with a 423 on base percentage. 2 balls and a strike now to Cooper Davis. Hancock, number 6 in the nation, hits per 9 innings. Number 8 in the nation, a 0.70 whip, which is number 3 in the conference. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cooper Davis. Named perfect game first team mid-season All-American this week. Hancock having a spectacular sophomore season. 2-2 pitch. That's going to be a base hit to center field. So Cooper Davis gets the offense rolling for the Commodores with his 39th hit of the season.
And a good piece of hitting by Davis right here. Goes into two-strike mode, sees it deep. That ball a little bit up there for Hancock. Davis able to get his hands inside it and fight it up the middle.
So leadoff single for Cooper Davis brings Austin Martin to the plate. Sophomore out of Jacksonville by way of Trinity Christian Academy. Fastball from Hancock is a strike. That .449 batting average, #1 in the SEC, and Tim Corbin says this kid could hit 400 for the year. Had Warner Jones several years ago who flirted with that magic number of 400. Runner going, ball hit in the air to right field, deep right field. Tate back there, right at the wall, makes the grab. Cooper Davis has to go back to first. Here's a look at the Bulldogs defensively. 980 overall, which is third in the SEC. 991 in SEC play. The Bulldogs have committed only 3 errors in their first 9 conference games. Marshall behind the plate, Rogers, Talley, Shepard, and Shunk in the infield. King, Maxwell, and Tate in the outfield. Connor Tate taking advantage of the opportunity he had last week in Kentucky and has earned himself a starting spot in right field to begin this series, moving Riley King over to left. And here's the aforementioned J.J. Bleday. Out of Panama City Beach, Florida, and Mosley High School, junior right-hander, one of the top junior prospects in the Major League Amateur draft in June. Pitched just a little bit off the plate with the fastball. It's 1-0. Look at the numbers for Bleday. .353, 12 home runs, 36 RBI. The 12 home runs lead the SEC. They're number 6 in the nation, and he's number 3 in the conference with runs batted in. .716 slugging percentage, which is also number 1 in the conference. 1-0 to Bleday. In there for a strike. Almost a 10-mile-per-hour difference in first pitch to second pitch.
That was a great changeup right there in a 1-0 count. Fastball count, Hancock able to pull the string. See Bleday off balance.
1 ball, 1 strike. Throw over it again. Chases back Connor Davis. Commodores have stolen 32 bases, 42 attempts. That's 9th in the conference. Davis 6 for 7. Again, they chase him back. You saw them on their second batter, Austin Martin, try hit and run.
Yeah, I'm still up in the air as to whether or not that was a hit and run. Nobody out.
You thought he was just going?
Yeah, it might have just been going. I think Martin's good enough to get the ball on the ground in that situation.
Slapped into left field for a base hit. That's the second hit of the inning for the Commodores, and they've got first and second and 1 out.
And I think this is what makes Bleday such a threat right there. He kind of shortens up a little bit, doesn't try and do too much, just takes what Hancock gives him. Hancock's not going to make a whole lot of mistakes, and that's where home runs happen. But you see he's got the power in his back pocket, but he takes that pitch and just serves it out to left field, gets his hit. That's a good piece of hitting right there.
Hancock averages only 4 hits per 9 innings. He's given up 2 here in the first inning. He's second in the SEC in hits per 9 innings. Here's Steven Scott, the left fielder. Changeup from Hancock. Scott at .343, the senior out of Cary, North Carolina, one of 7 seniors on this Vanderbilt ball club. Swing and a miss. 5 seniors, pardon me. It's the most since they had 7 in the 2008 season. Scott behind in the count 0-2. See the 12 freshmen, 9 sophomores, the 5 seniors I was mentioning. Talking to Corbin in the dugout about the 5 seniors. That's kind of a tricky thing sometimes, because when you get seniors, it's not like other sports. If you get seniors, that means they haven't been good enough to go pro after their junior year, or they've decided not to. So a lot of times you have to make sure those seniors know their roles, define their roles, and they're cool with their roles. And in this case, Corbin says all of his seniors are really good about that.
And I think when it turns out that way and they're really good about it, they become great leaders, which really improves your team. It's good to have seniors that are like that. Sometimes you get the seniors that are a little bit bitter to be there or don't accept their role, and it can be a drag on the team overall.
Fastball from Hancock was fouled back, so the count remains 0-2 to Scott. Scott, a catcher who's also kind of a jack of all trades. They've got him out in left field. Hancock looks back at second. Spin move, Cooper Davis hit off his hand, ricochets into shallow right field, and everybody's going to move up 90 feet. That was a low throw from Hancock, probably an error on him. It looked like it bounced off the hands of Cooper Davis on the throw back and into right field.
Yeah, this is a tough play right here. It's a risky play as you see ball, player, and fielder all arrive at the same time. So kind of a tough low percentage play. And takes a double play out order now for Emerson Hancock in an 0-2 count.
So the Bulldogs come in at the corners first and third. Pitch missed inside to Scott. It's 1-2. Scott leads the team with 10 doubles, 21 walks, 5 hit by pitch. Straight up the chute, foul territory. Shunk over by the Vandy dugout has room and makes it. That's a big out for Hancock.
Yeah, huge out right there, an unproductive out of Scott right there. Really kind of bails Hancock out from that error. Still has to get that last out, but a little bit easier now. They got to get a hit to score.
And here's the catcher, Philip Clark. Sophomore, local kid from the Nashville area, Christ Presbyterian Academy. 282 batting average, but third in the SEC with 36 runs batted in. Strike on the edge. Second and third for the Commodores, but 2 down now in the inning. 0-1. Fastball is fouled out of play. 0-2.
Davis over in third, getting awfully far down the line.
So Hancock, after working himself into some trouble with his own throwing error, went 0-2 on Scott, got him to pop up. Now 0-2 on Clark. Got him. Hancock shakes his head as he walks off the mound. That inning got a lot more difficult than it should have been, but Hancock is able to work his way out of it, striking out Clark to end the inning and strand 2 in scoring position. 6'5" junior right-hander Drake Fellows out of Plainville, Illinois, making his 34th career start tonight for the Commodores.
Yeah, Fellows is going to be a competitor out there. Fastball 88 to 92. His out pitches his slider, but he's kind of a bend but don't break type of pitcher. He's going to maybe lose focus with nobody on base. When he gets into those big situations, he really heightens his awareness and bears down and makes that big pitch when he needs to.
I thought it was funny. It was kind of like what Hancock did in the first inning. That was very un-Hancock-like to get into trouble early, but he got out of it. Maybe a precursor of what we might see from Fellows tonight.
Yeah, I think that's a great description of the type of pitcher Fellows is. It's going to be tough to get to him, but you're going to get some opportunities. You just got to cash in when you get those, and he's going to make it tough for you.
Here's Georgia's batting order. 5 right-handers, 4 left-handers, as always, as it has the entire season. Cam Shepard still at the top, even though his average has slipped down to 233 now, followed by King, Shunk, and Talley. Then John Cable, who leads the team with 11 RBI in conference play, batting 5th, followed by Connor Tate, getting the start in right field. Then Rogers still in for the ailing Patrick Sullivan, and Shane Marshall in for the ailing Mason Meadows, and Tucker Maxwell in the number 9 spot, batting 301 and a team leading 6 home runs on the season.
I think that 7-8-9 is going to be the key to this series for Georgia, just how well they can do. They're going to get some run-producing opportunities. It's just a matter of if they can get hot at the right time or not.
Bulldogs batting 273 as a team. That's 8th in the conference, but only 238 in the SEC. They're averaging 7 runs per game, which is 6th overall in the league. Cam Shepard, the junior out of Peachtree Ridge High School in the Atlanta area, digs in. And the first pitch from Fellows is rocketed to center field, but right at Cooper Davis. Here's a look at Vandy defensively. Number 1 in the SEC at .983 fielding percentage. Clark behind the plate. Infante at first, followed by Harrison, Paul, and Martin around the infield diamond, then Scott Davis and Blade in the outfield. .983 fielding percentage, but a .970 fielding percentage for the Commodores in conference play. Here's Riley King. King, another Atlanta area kid on this Georgia roster. He's out of Collins Hill High School. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike from Fellows, makes it 1-1. King at 319. Team leading 28 RBI. Team leading 28 runs scored. Always like to look at those two numbers. There's so many numbers when it comes to evaluating players, and I'm going old school here. I'm not dealing with the analytical stuff.
Yeah,
I like to add up runs and RBI. Give me your runs and your RBI total. Let me and I'll make an evaluation on a player in great part because of that. You're producing runs, you're scoring runs.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the game, isn't it? So I think that's a great way to look at a guy and his offensive prowess, I guess, so to speak.
You're knocking in runs. If you're scoring runs, that means you're getting on base.
That's right.
Those are all great positive things. Here's Aaron Shunk, Georgia's junior third baseman and closer out of the Lovett School in Atlanta. 314 batting average, 5 home runs, 25 RBI. Fooled on that breaking ball.
Bulldogs come out pretty aggressive here. Shepard swinging at the first pitch, putting a good swing on it, and a line out to center. You saw King, he took one as his typical one pitch, one out. You're going to take one there, but then going after a strike as soon as he got one, and then right there, Shunk ready to hit that first pitch, gets fooled a little bit. So Georgia coming out with a very aggressive approach.
Fastball off the plate, 2-1 from Fellows. 16-7 in his career, 3.66 ERA, 1 complete game. That coming 2 weeks ago against the Florida Gators. On the ground, off the glove, and under the glove of the second baseman, Ray. I think it deflected off of Fellows, kind of redirected it a little bit, and maybe that might have thrown off Ray's concentration a little bit.
No, I definitely think it did. He had to redirect himself. He had a beat on the ball. As a middle infielder, you're starting to choose your hop right there. Then you got to redirect yourself, and I think right there, just a little bit of lack of concentration. Glove gets behind his eyes, and that's where the miss happens.
That'll be the third error of the season on Ray. Just the 19th for the Commodores for the entire season, which is the lowest number in the conference. L.J. Talley at the plate. Fastball, ball one to Talley, the senior out of Charlton County High School. Still leading the team with a .364 batting average. .1-0. Throw down to first. That was ball one to Talley. 1 ball, 1 strike. Talley, 4 home runs, 19 RBI, .477 on base percentage, which is 7th in the conference. And he's number 9 in the conference, toughest to strike out. Swings and misses at that one, now behind in the count 1-2. Strikes out 7 times, or pardon me, once every 8.9 at-bats. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Talley. Fellows, 2019 Collegiate Baseball preseason All-American, perfect game preseason All-American. Now over 202 innings pitched in his career with 227 strikeouts in his career. Two pitch, hit foul past the first baseman. Georgia tied for 20th in the nation in home runs with Vanderbilt. Both clubs with 31 home runs on the season. Spin move, and Shunk not far off the bag. Would you run Shunk in this situation so that even if he gets thrown out, Talley's at the plate when you come back?
Nah, I don't think this early on. I think right now you let Talley kind of find his way.
2-2. Hit back to the screen.
That's why it was a little surprising, that pickoff move in the first inning out of Hancock. 2 strikes on the batter, just kind of showing your hand a little bit early. I think if you're Georgia, might want to save that play for later innings when he's getting a little fatigued. You got to get that final out.
2 balls, 2 strikes still to Talley. That's ball 3. Fellows perfect game has him ranked as the nation's number 39 junior in the MLB draft in June.
I think you definitely run Shunk here, though.
On a 3-2, yeah. I think you're right. That's why we like you. Astute observation. Here he goes. Check swing. Fouled right above Tim Corbin's head over there.
This is a big at bat here for Talley, fouling some pitches off, making Fellows work here a little bit in the first inning like Hancock had to work. Got two pretty quick outs, and you got the error, and Talley's having a pretty epic at bat right here. I think that's important as far as momentum goes, of getting Hancock a little breather after that tough first inning.
9th pitch of the at bat. Payoff pitch, and he draws the walk. Bulldogs do that so well. They're 16th in the nation in walks drawn, and it gives Georgia a first and second opportunity here with 2 out in the first. And Fellows has struggled with the walks this season. That's his team leading 22nd walk. And true to form, he's kind of worked himself into trouble here. We'll see if true to form he works himself out of it.
I got to give a lot of credit to Talley on that walk, though. I don't think that one's on Fellows. I think Talley just battled off some tough pitches and was able to outlast him.
Here's John Cable. Loads up and half-hearted swing. It's called strike. 265, 4 homers, 20 RBI for Cable. 3 of those homers, 11 of those RBI have come in conference play. It took him a while to get untracked. It really wasn't until the last non-conference weekend series against Presbyterian that he really started to click. Fouled that one back off the catcher. 0-2.
I think that's the one he's going to want back. That breaking ball stayed up in the zone for him. I think that was a product of having to work so hard against Talley, which is, I think, Cable kind of looking for that mistake here early in the at-bat. Just missed his pitch there, a little up in the zone.
Had a grand slam a couple of weeks ago in the season opening series at the SEC against LSU. And he hits this one towards the gap in center field, charging over, and now the left fielder, Scott, will cut in front at the last second and make the grab, and that will end the inning as Georgia, like Vanderbilt, stranded 2 in the first. Paul and Ravy due up for Vanderbilt when we bat in the second. I ask you, has any coach ever changed the fortunes of his program more than Tim Corbin? I mean, they were bottom tier of the SEC when Corbin came in. He has made them a national championship contender. In 2014, they were the national champions. Look at that, 13 consecutive NCAA regionals out of the 14 total appearances under Corbin. He is the all-time winningest coach, 704 wins in Vanderbilt history. And he still works the third base coaching box. Love it.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, it's really impressive what he has been able to do, as you mentioned. I mean, I was in the league. 03 was my first season in the league, and they were still kind of a bottom-of-the-barrel team, like you mentioned. And now that program's a national powerhouse year in and year out.
Harrison Ray starts things off with a solid single to center. So 3 base runners already, 3 hits for the Commodores tonight. As I mentioned earlier, Hancock averages only 4 hits per 9 innings. But he's facing, this is probably the most potent offensive lineup that Georgia's faced thus far this season.
I would tend to agree with you, and they're staying aggressive. Second pitch right there, putting the play, staying up the middle, finding a way on. They got their second straight leadoff guy on.
In fact, this might be the most potent offense they face all season. They do have Mississippi State. And Mississippi State, the only team that's better than Vanderbilt at most of these categories. Vandy's number 2 in the conference in batting average, runs scored, hits, doubles, runs batted in. They're number 5 in home runs, number 4 in on-base percentage, number 1 in the conference, make that number 2 in the conference in slugging. This is going to be a real challenge for Georgia's starting pitching staff and bullpen this weekend. Ball outside to Paul. Another one of those seniors we were talking about, one of the 5. He's out of Bellevue, Washington. Comes in 2 hits shy of 200 for his career. 7th in the conference with a .372 batting average, and the whip throw over by Hancock chases Ray back. Ethan Paul, number 7 in the order, is also number 2 in the conference with 38 runs batted in. Runners going, swung on and missed, throw down, and out at second base. Nice throw by Shane Marshall, the freshman, to peg Harrison Ray. That's the first time all season Ray has been thrown out trying to steal.
Yeah, and this was a hit and run right here. Pitch up in the zone, a changeup. A bad pitch, but it worked out really well to defend against the hit and run, as that it was up and away. Paul unable to protect Ray at first base there, and a great throw by Marshall.
Fastball missed inside, 2-1 now to Paul. So the base runner erased by Shane Marshall, who again is starting at catcher. But Mason Meadows is on the active 27-man roster for the weekend, as is Patrick Sullivan. So those two guys that have been out, of course, Mason with the fractured facial bone, the orbital bone, when he took that foul tip from his own bat off his face. Amazing recovery. We talked to him in the dugout prior to the game. They expect him to play this weekend at some point. Just did not want to rush him back into the starting lineup. And Patrick Sullivan, who's been in concussion protocol, also available to play. And Coach Strickland said expect him maybe as a late inning defensive replacement.
Yeah, and I think with Meadows, you got to play the long game, because they're a much different ball club with him behind the plate. His leadership and his ability to control the running game. He does a great job of receiving and managing this pitching staff. So I think you got to look long term with him.
Here's a look at the injured Bulldogs. Bradley, of course, out for the season. Webb and Sullivan, Proctor and Meadows. Sullivan and Meadows available this weekend. They do not expect Webb or Proctor to be available this weekend to pitch. There's the strikeout for Hancock as Marshall completes it for throw down to first.
Good job there by Marshall. I think he caught that in the air. Maybe it bounced, but goes ahead and completes the play anyway. You saw how wide he got there, just making sure to keep that ball in front. The off-speed coming with 2 strikes.
2 strikeouts for Hancock already today. That puts him at 51 for the season. That's tops on the Georgia team right now, ahead of Losey, who's got a much higher strikeouts per 9 innings rate, though. Hancock making his 23rd career start tonight. He's 12-5 here in his second season and a 3.57 ERA overall, covering his freshman and sophomore campaigns to this point. 126 career strikeouts now in right at 125 innings. This is Ty Duvall pinch hitting for their DH, their pitcher. Duvall is also a catcher on this team, so Duvall will take over in the DH role. Count 1-1 to him. And Coach Corbin's been doing this forever, where he puts his starting pitcher the next day or the past day in as the number 8 guy in the DH spot. He likes to do that just from a strategy standpoint, to see what's going on when we get to that spot in the order. No need in his mind to commit to a guy there. We'll wait and see what's happening when we get to that spot in the order.
Yeah, I honestly wonder how many times that's made a difference. Had at least, a handful of times that's made a difference where you put a guy up there in a bunt situation.
Here's the 3-1 to Duvall, fouled back. But he's been doing it forever.
He has.
And you've seen some others along the way do it, not stay with it. He stuck with it.
There's no disadvantage.
Absolutely not. You're going to burn Raby. Well, you're not using Raby tonight anyway. He's pitching tomorrow, so yeah, it just gives yourself a little bit more of an option as Duvall draws the walk, and he's aboard with 2 outs.
I think in all likelihood you're putting the guy in there that would have been, placed in there in the first place, but every once in a while, it kind of just leaves you that little bit of leeway if you got a better bunter or the situation calls for a different type of batter.
Exactly. It's a card that you don't have to play at the start of the game. We'll wait until we get there, and then we'll see what card we're going to play. Just one of those quirky things, if you will, and I mean that in the most complimentary way. One of the quirky things that Corbin does that makes him so good as a coach.
Yeah.
Count 0-1 to Infante. The third senior that we've seen in the lineup here tonight. Infante gets around on that one and fouls it out of play. He's out of Miami, Westminster Christian. Hancock's second career start against Vanderbilt. He was the losing pitcher in the 8-3 loss there last year, last April 7th, so almost a full year ago. Did he go? Ball bounces away from Marshall. He's going to run down to first base and be safe. They say he went around, so that's a strikeout, but a strikeout, pass ball, or wild pitch, one or the other, and so runners at first and second.
That almost looked like he foul-tipped it. This ball way up in the zone. No, I don't think he did. Marshall just missed it right there.
I think that's a pass ball, if you're asking me.
Marshall a little late getting there. And I think, again, that's missing Meadows a little bit. The young freshman handling a power arm like Hancock, you got to beat it to the spot when it's above you there. And there is a moment of blindness, a blind spot as you're reaching up where you really don't see the ball. And that's something just takes some experience.
Here's Cooper Davis batting for the second time, and he stopped by Rogers, races to the bag and beats him there. How about Cheney Rogers? Rogers is, if you will, the number 2 first baseman on this Georgia team, but he has played like a front liner ever since he got his opportunity. Super play by Cheney Rogers right here to snuff out a Vanderbilt rally. We're still scoreless after an inning and a half. Scott Strickland in his 6th season as the Georgia Bulldogs coach, going for win number 169 tonight. 20 years ago, he was the pitching coach at Vanderbilt for Roy Mewborn in between his stops at Georgia Tech. Says it's encouraging that this team is 7-2 with all the injuries that they've had. He said when they had all these injuries, he felt like if we could just hold on, but we've done better than just hold on.
No, he's absolutely right. They've had some, pretty big role players go down with, some small injuries, some a little bit larger. And you look at Tucker Bradley out in left field missing the season just on a good hustle play. The falls funny on his non-throwing arm, and that's his season right there. That's a big hit. And they've been able to kind of get through that. Look at Ryan Webb and Proctor. Proctor was their Saturday starter to start the season, so they've done a good job at making some adjustments, and you got to give a lot of credit to these guys filling in these spots and keeping the team winning.
He says the starting lineup right now, 4 or 5 different guys than what I had in my projected starting lineup back in September. And Tate takes a called third strike from Fellows. One down here in the second. But he's anxious to see what this team will look like in weeks 7, 8, 9, and 10 when they get everybody back healthy. And the flip side to all the injuries, the good consequence of that has been that Georgia's depth has gotten a lot better because they've had to use guys that maybe would not have gotten opportunities otherwise.
And, some of that's baseball. That's the SEC. It's going to be tough. You're going to go through some tough times where guys are injured, not playing up to their potential, any number of different things. And he's right. You just got to grind out these times and get everybody healthy and going at the right time, usually down the stretch of the season.
Well, the first 2 guys batting in this inning are prime examples of that, Connor Tate and Cheney Rogers. Rogers, as we just saw there in the top half of the second, has done an unbelievable job defensively in place of Patrick Sullivan, who Scott Strickland has called, ever since he got on campus, the best defensive first baseman in the SEC. And Rogers has been able to nearly match that, backhanded by Ray. And there's 2 down. Here's Shane Marshall. He missed 5 games himself with a sprained shoulder suffered in a home plate collision in that Presbyterian series. He's at 250 overall with a homer and 6 RBI. That home run coming against Alabama State back before conference play began. Freshman out of Gulf Coast High School in Naples. Hits this one down the line in left field, and it is a foul ball. Third base umpire Mitch Dunn looking right down the line.
Well, he does his best. You see him going almost down to a knee to stay through that ball, trying to keep it fair. Just foul.
So no balls, 2 strikes to Shane Marshall with 2 down, nobody aboard here, bottom of the second. Slider in the dirt. Fellows coming on strong, has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in 3 consecutive starts. He's gone 6+ in 5 of his last 6 starts, and he struck out 8+ in 4 of his last 6 starts as well. That included that first career complete games 2 weeks ago against the Florida Gators, and he strikes out Marshall. 2 of the 3 batters that he faced, he strikes out here in the second. We'll take a look at the SEC scoreboard when we get back in Vandy Bats in the top of the third. Full slate of action around the conference tonight. South Carolina, Alabama, Arkansas, and Auburn got started early today with doubleheaders after last night's rainouts. You see Bama beat South Carolina 9-0. Auburn over Arkansas 6-3. Everything else is just now getting started. Texas A&M and LSU, they'll get going in about 15 minutes. Martin hits that to Shepard, and Shepard throws him out.
Again, going after that first pitch early. Hancock able to get that leadoff out. First time in the game he's been able to do that. As I think this Vanderbilt offense has definitely put him under some stress here early on.
Well, Vandy already has 3 hits in the game, and they've had 5 men on out of the first 11 batters. Here's Blade. Goes after the first pitch, hits it hard to center field, backing up and right there in front of the track. Maxwell makes the grab for the second out.
Well, 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Interesting here. Are these scouting reports they're looking at?
Yeah.
That's the second player that I've seen. I saw Shunk do it. Now Maxwell pulled this little slip of paper out of their back pocket.
Yep, they're starting to do that in the big leagues as well. They'll pull out a little scouting report, tell them where to shift it. There's not quite as much data here at the college level. They got it down to a science there at the big league level, but any information helps.
Steven Scott, 1-0 pitch is fouled out of play, and it's 1-1. Vandy at 23-6 overall. Their .793 winning percentage is 10th best in the nation. And at 6-3, they are second place in the SEC East, 1 game behind first place Georgia. That's what's on the line this weekend. First place in the SEC East, and really perhaps first place overall in the conference. Depends on what develops over the weekend in that West Division. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Scott. Two and 2 now from Hancock, who's up to 42 pitches already. Hancock has allowed 1 run or less in 6 of his 7 starts this season. A breaking ball, and Marshall throws high to first base and safe. That's the second strikeout that has reached on a mistake by the catcher, Marshall. A pass ball an inning ago, and now an errant throw from Marshall here in the 3rd.
Yeah, Marshall's got all the talent. It's the experience level. Just as a freshman right here, you can see he doesn't quite know where it is off the bat, and he kind of panics a little bit, and then he goes to the outside part. As a catcher, you always want to try to get to the inside because those 2 white lines, the batter has to stay in those 2 white lines. The runner does, excuse me. And that kind of narrows your lane a little bit. So if you can go to the inside, you got a much clearer lane. He decides to go to the outside. He ends up throwing over the runner, which is why the high throw shows up.
So the Bulldogs, who have committed only 3 errors in their first 9 conference games, have committed 2 here in less than the first 3 innings of this game.
Unfortunately for Hancock, after the last mistake that extended the inning, he was able to get the next guy out on the very next pitch, so it didn't extend his pitch count too much. But you got to start worrying about that stuff when you're giving those extra outs away, his pitch count getting up there.
1 ball, no strikes to Clark. The one thing that we did not mention on that play, super job by L.J. Talley to back up. He was right in the right position to catch that overthrow. Had he not been there, Scott would be at second base right now.
Yeah, maybe even third.
Maybe.
Marshall's got a heck of an arm. He threw that ball real well.
Yeah, that thing would have gotten down into that corner, and Tate would have had a long way to run to catch up with it. So that was a heads-up defensive play by Talley, even on a mistake by Marshall to kind of bail him out a little bit. We'll see if Hancock can get out of this one. There's been base runners all night for Vanderbilt. They had 2 in the first. They stranded them at second and third. They had 2 in the second. They stranded at first and second. This ball is hit to left field, and King retreats just a little bit and is there for the third out of the inning. Played 2.5. Georgia a little bit sloppy defensively and uncharacteristic for them, but we're still scoreless. That's a good sign for Georgia fans. Mason Meadows, pardon me, was out there warming up the pitcher, Hancock, while Marshall was getting back to the dugout and getting his gear on. So Meadows making an appearance here tonight, not yet in the game. This is what happened to him a couple of weeks ago against LSU, and something that nobody that I hear has never ever seen a foul ball off your own bat, and that's the damage that it did to his right eye. Broke his orbital bone. And to see him now is absolutely amazing. Look at the recovery.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable. And that is a freak play. I've never seen that before in my life. I think I've seen a lot of baseball, not the most, but that is a wild thing to happen. Very unfortunate. Didn't even touch his helmet. Of all the places it could go, it just got him right there on the eye, and recovering well. Could have been a lot worse. So good
Absolutely.
to see him out there participating.
So these are the special helmets that he will be wearing when he's catching, and of course when he's batting. The batting helmet, very similar to what they wear in softball.
Right.
It's got the entire mask on there to protect his face, and Coach Strickland was explaining the catcher's mask has got some kind of like shock absorbers on the side.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting, not a normal, kind of looks like a traditional hockey mask, but it's not. There's a little bit more to it. And I think, again, long term, he's a guy that you're going to need down the stretch for the postseason, all those things. And you don't want to rush him coming back. So I think he's getting there. I think he probably is cleared to play. But I think you want to make sure that everything's 100% before you get him back in there, because down the stretch, you're a much better team with him behind the plate.
Well, he's definitely been cleared to play. When he walked in on Tuesday, and he said, the doctor says I'm good to go. Coach Strickland thought he was kidding. And this week, Mason Meadows was added to the 2019 Buster Posey watch list, which goes to the National Collegiate Catcher of the Year. Used to be known as the Johnny Bench Award. Maybe updated it a little bit for the millennials. But those who don't know, Johnny Bench was really good. He was kind of the standard. But Buster Posey, a catcher at Florida State, now, of course, star with the San Francisco Giants.
A converted shortstop.
He was, yep.
That's
not unlike Kyle Farmer from Georgia,
yeah,
who's now a catcher in the major leagues with the Cincinnati Reds. One ball, two strikes to Cam Shepard. He flew out to center his first time up. Number 2 in the SEC in walks, number 14 in the national rankings in walks. Fellows winning pitcher in his last start, the 4-2 victory against Tennessee. That That ball is lined into center field. It's going to drop in front of Davis for Georgia's first hit of the night.
Shepard able to find some grass. He lined out real hard in his first at bat. Been lining out quite a bit this season, but able to stay down and through that one.
Was that a slider?
Yeah, slider out of the zone there, 1-2. A good slider. I mean, he did a great job in his plate coverage of just hanging on and staying through that. And I think that's a lot of the reason why these Bulldogs are able to walk as much as they do. They do a good job of keeping their bat through the zone for an extremely long time, and they're able to spoil some really tough pitches. As he spoiled a slider earlier in the at-bat to extend it on a 1-2 pitch. Able there to serve that one out to center.
Riley King, who grounded out to Martin, the third baseman, his first time up, takes a called first strike. King's one of those guys as well. We were talking about Strickland. My projected, or his projected, September starting lineup. King was not in it. One ball, one strike.
Might not be a bad time to put some action on here.
Georgia 25-5. Their .833 winning percentage, number 5 in the country. Is the 1-1 hitting. That is the eighth time, pardon me, that King has been hit by a pitch this season. That's tops on this team, but Fellows known to hit a few guys. That's number 10 for him. That's second in the conference.
They're trying to go in there, just rushed his delivery a little bit too much. Arm couldn't catch up. King does a good job rolling with it.
So second time the Bulldogs have gotten a runner to scoring position. They did so back in the first as well. And here's Aaron Shunk. First and second, and one out here in the third. Shunk trying to break the scoreless tie. Shunk 4 for 11 with a double, an RBI, stolen base, couple of walks, 4 runs scored in the series last week at Kentucky. And he rifles this one towards the gap in center field and run down out there by Davis. Everybody has to head back. That shot off the bat of Shunk hung up there a little bit too long.
Yeah, Davis playing him pretty deep. I think this ball gets in just a little bit. Maybe off the end just a little bit, because off the bat it sounded good, but kind of died there late. Batting practice ball wasn't quite flying like you would expect this time of year. But Davis had him played perfectly.
Talley walked his first time up. Talley has a team-leading 39 hits this season. Georgia just 10th out of the 14 teams in the SEC in total hits. And I firmly believe that Georgia not only has a team that could get to Omaha, but I think they have a team that could win the national championship with their pitching and their defense. The one concern is, will the offense be there when they need it? And to this point in the season, they've really been able to come up with clutch hits when they need it. But they're not a big, explosive offensive team, even though they've had some big games. Generally speaking, they're not a big, explosive offensive team.
Yeah, they lost a lot of power in McGovern and Curry from last year. And now it takes a few hits for them to score. And really, when you talk about that and stretching the lineup, I think that's where that 6, 7, 8 is really kind of very important for them. Maxwell doing a great job in the 9-hole.
Base hit center field. Here comes Shepard. He rounds third. He's going to score without a throw. Georgia takes a 1-0 lead. RBI single for L.J. Talley, his 20th run batted into the season. Georgia on top.
And a huge 2-out RBI right here from Talley. Gets the changeup up in the zone. and finds a hole out there. That's one of those times where Georgia really needed to take advantage with the right part of their lineup up with men on base. Talley comes through with the clutch 2-out knock. And now Cable's got a chance to extend the inning and get another run in.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about right there. Not an explosive team, but to this point in the season, and this is conference game number 10, and the non-conference before that, Georgia's had a great knack for coming up with a big hit.
Yeah, and those 2-out knocks, those 2-out RBIs, those 2-strike 2-out RBIs, those are big-time killers for the Vanderbilt for the defensive side. You get so close to getting out of that inning, and then somebody comes through clutch. Really shifts the momentum into the Georgia dugout.
Cable takes a called strike. Pitch missed inside. Talley had gone about a third of the way, and he goes back to first. Count now 1-1 to Cable.
That was a smooth block there by Clark.
Cable was all Southland Conference in 2017, playing for the University of New Orleans. 1-1, swing and miss, 1-2. Missed all last season, hamstring injury, transferred back home. He's from the Atlanta area. Went to River Ridge High School in the Atlanta area. He's a grad transfer, so he came back home for his final year of college baseball to play for the Bulldogs. 1-2 pitch. Almost pulled the trigger. It's outside, 2-2.
I'll tell you, Cable's been close. He's gotten a few breaking balls, I guess, up in the zone to hit. Just hasn't quite been able to make contact with him. Just a little bit off, but he's seen a few. I think if Fellows leaves him another mistake, I think Cable's pretty locked on that breaking ball right now.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, to a board for the Bulldogs. A run already in here, bottom of the third. And Cable hits that to left field base hit. Another run in as King touches the plate. Talley slides in at third. 2-0 Georgia. And John Cable with his 12th SEC RBI of the season.
Boy, just a good piece of hitting right there. He's seeing the ball deep, gets a fastball up in the zone, really pulls his hands in tight to get that ball enough mustard to make it out of the infield there. Good defensive 2-strike hitting right there. And another 2-out RBI.
Scott Brown, the pitching coach, out of the dugout to pay a visit to Drew Fellows. No activity in the bullpen right now. 54 pitches for Fellows. He threw 91 in a 6-inning performance against Tennessee last week to get the win. That's a lot of pitches so far tonight. And Georgia with back-to-back 2-out hits. Look at that. That's a nice, what is that? That's like a full house. 21, 12, 21. You kind of get a theme there, right?
That's right.
Ones and twos, ones and twos.
And this is that part of the lineup that if Georgia can get going, they're going to be really tough to stop. And you got the 3 freshmen, Tate, Rogers, and Marshall right there.
Bulldogs 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Both of those hits coming here in this 2-run third inning. Connor Tate struck out looking his first time up. That's ball 1 to Tate. Tate from Oconee County High School. Strike on the edge, 1-1.
Well, I think that was the pitch right there. You got to be ready for 1-0 breaking ball, a little up in the zone just to get me over.
Tate was 4 for 10 with a grand slam and 6 RBI, starting all 3 games in that series at Kentucky last weekend. making the most of his opportunity. Randon Jernigan was scuffling a little bit in SEC play. 1-1 pitch. Fouled up, out of play, over on the right side, reaches the seats. And another big crowd. This is the second consecutive SEC weekend at home for Georgia, where they have sold out the entire series. Can you say that Georgia Bulldogs fans were hungry for a rebirth of Georgia baseball?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been tough sledding to try and find tickets here around town.
Keep doing this, they'll have to talk about expanding, right?
That's right.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And Rogers goes down swinging. He's caught looking and now swinging, but Georgia productive bottom of the third with a couple of 2-out knocks from Talley and Cable. Ray Paul and Duvall due up for the Commodores in the 4th. .236th all-time meeting between Vanderbilt and Georgia. Georgia leads the all-time series 119-116, but let's face it, over the last couple of decades since Tim Corbin took over, Vandy has owned this series. They've won 15 of the last 17 games between these two teams. In fact, the last team Georgia won a series over Vanderbilt was in 2008 when Georgia won the SEC championship and was a national finalist, came within 1 victory of winning the national championship that year.
Yeah, I actually believe they locked up the SEC championship at Vanderbilt that year when they won that series.
There's a called strike to Ray. Remember when Tim Corbin took over and they were so excited to make the SEC tournament that first season. It was a big deal. You had to be in the top 8, and they squeezed in the last weekend, if I remember, with a big win over Tennessee, their rival, of course, and got into the SEC tournament. If I'm not mistaken, that was 03 and 04. They made their first trip to a regional. Missed in 05, and they've been to every regional since.
Yeah, really an incredible job, and some great talent has come through the Vanderbilt program.
No doubt about that. 22 major leaguers since Corbin took over. Shunk on the run, throws out Ray. 1 down.
Great play here by Shunk. A good read, sees the high hop, hustles in to get it, and then makes the throw on the run. Makes it look easy. Not the easiest throw. That third base angle is actually one of the tougher angles to throw across. A lot of times the shortstop has the longest throw, but I think that angle from third base is the toughest.
Ethan Paul takes a breaking ball low. Paul at 42 hits on the season. That's 8th best in the SEC. He's number 7 in the nation in runs per game and number 9 in the nation in total RBI. Right back off of Hancock, ricochets. Shunk picks it up and still throws him out. Well, let's hope that Hancock is okay.
Good piece of hitting there by Paul. You can see why Vanderbilt has such a high batting average as a team. They just stay through the middle, really focusing their attention up the middle there, and a heads-up play by Shunk to barehand that and make the accurate throw across. I think that got Hancock in the shoe, I believe.
I think so. Sean Boland, the trainer, is out there to have him make some tosses here, make sure he's okay. And I think you're right, it didn't hit him. The fear would be if it hit him in the calf.
Yeah, absolutely, because it'll knot up.
The bone.
Yeah.
Looked like it caught his shoe.
It looks like it gets him right there in the left shoe as he was big, like the heel almost.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good, but that's something you can deal with, generally speaking.
Especially when you get the out.
Yeah. And a super play by Shunk. And here's Duvall batting for the second time. Junior catcher out of Lebanon, Ohio. Not officially in a start for Duvall. This is his 22nd game appearance. He's made 8 starts, 220 batting average, 1 homer, 8 RBI. And walked his first time up. Change up in there for a strike from Hancock.
2-0 wrinkle right there. Just not quite feeling his fastball this inning. He's had a couple of big misses with it.
That's the fastball, and that's hit right at Tate. 3 up, 3 down. First time that Hancock has done that tonight. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Rogers, Marshall, Maxwell. Bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9. Do it for Georgia. Two runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for Georgia. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Vanderbilt as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Sellout crowd for Georgia, 15-2 at home this season. Bulldogs 6-1 against the top 25, and Vandy another one of those opponents. Georgia with the number 12 RBI in the nation. Vanderbilt number 2, second only to Oregon State, defending national champs. Cheney Rogers granted out to second his first time up. batting for the second time here and goes after the first pitch and taps a foul. Rogers making his 17th start of the season. Average now down to 182. That's one of the places, I mean, you look at Rogers, you look at Sullivan, and not a lot of offense coming out of that first place position. That's one of the places Georgia got hurt with Adam Sasser's dismissal from the program. One of the power bats that they anticipated would be here. One of the guys that was probably in Coach Strickland's projected September starting lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the most experience out of those three names as well. He had a great campaign last year.
One-two pitch miss, tie 2-2. So when you don't get numbers from, one of those power positions, you expect power numbers out of a first baseman. You got to get them somewhere else. Production has to come from someplace else. And, maybe Maxwell in center field. He's kind of been that guy unexpectedly. Ball hit to left field, kind of turned around like a pretzel, and Scott is able to recover. That was a nice job by Scott. Did you see how he did not panic? He kind of got twisted around, and he never panicked when he looked up to find the ball and make the grab.
Yeah, that's always impressed me, the way outfielders are able to take their eye off the ball and then find it again. You see here, like you mentioned, just turns over the wrong shoulder and just calmly switches back over and gets behind the ball and does a great job.
Not nearly as easy a play as Scott made it look out there. Like you said, when he turned his shoulder to that, he took his eye off the ball. He had to find it for a second time. Marshall, a strikeout victim his first time up. Fastball strike from Fellows makes it 1-2. Fellows' complete game shutout of the Florida Gators 2 weeks ago. Vanderbilt's first complete game shutout since 2017. Blanked Florida 5-0. Fouled back out of play.
Fellows is just doing a great job at mixing his pitches here to that freshman part of the order we talked about with Tate, Rogers, and Marshall. Has done a good job. They have not looked comfortable or haven't really taken any comfortable swings.
Foul tip strikeout. Strikeout number 4 for Fellows.
Just went fastball, breaking ball the whole way through. And gets Marshall there on that fastball riding back in.
Fellows has been especially tough on Tate and Marshall. All 4 of his strikeouts split between those two batters. Here's Tucker Maxwell. Maxwell with the team leading 6 home runs in the number 9 spot in the order. Also a team leading .590 slugging percentage. High chopper, and Infante will take it himself in a 3-up, 3-down inning for Meadows. And the second time he's been able to do that tonight, and both times against the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Georgia. We head to the 5th. Yeah, sure. Been kind of an odd night for Georgia defensively. They've committed 2 errors, but they've also had a number of web gems.
Yeah, absolutely. Georgia definitely flashed in the leather. The 2 errors coming, one from the pitcher, one from the catcher. This infield's been on its game, especially Shunk. Just a heads-up play right there, the bare hand. Nice toss over to first base, a huge out. As Georgia had just scored 2 runs in the bottom half of the previous inning.
And like we said at the top of the game, kind of best on best, Vandy best offense, Georgia best pitching, although Georgia also with the 2 big clutch hits in the 3rd inning. That's the difference in the ball game right now. Julian Infante batting for the 2nd time, struck out and reached on the pass ball by Marshall back in the 2nd inning. Improved plate discipline for this Vandy team this year. They struck out 44 times fewer through their first 29 games compared to this point a season ago. They've struck out only once here tonight, or pardon me, 4 times here tonight, Infante being one of them. But the odd thing about it is, out of the 4 strikeouts, twice they've reached base on the strikeout. Three and 0 now, a 95-mile-per-hour fastball that Marshall held for an extra second. Still didn't get the call from Tyler Simpson, our home plate umpire. And a 4-pitch walk for Hancock.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic, just having trouble commanding that fastball.
Second walk for Hancock tonight. Gives him 13 for the season and right at 50 innings. Came in number 2 in the SEC, 46 innings pitched. His ERA, 2nd in the conference, his 6 wins, tied with Fellows for tops in the SEC. And the 2nd best opponent's batting average in the conference, just a 136 average, trailing his own teammate and midweek starter Timmy Elliott, who's at 129 and leading the SEC.
Yeah, he's had an amazing season so far.
Elliott, the winning pitcher on Tuesday night when Georgia went over to Clemson and beat the Tigers there. Another one of those top 25 wins for Georgia. And a tough week in that Georgia. This is a 5-game week for the Bulldogs. Davis went around. A little odd this late in the season to be having those 5-game weeks.
Yeah, a makeup game for the rainout, so not ideal when you got high-ranked Vanderbilt coming to town on the weekend, but Georgia able to kind of piece together some pitching there for the Wednesday game.
Yeah, Coach Strickland was very complimentary of his bullpen. Moody, Pasqua, and Goodman in particular for their role in that 7-6 victory against Kennesaw State. Because Georgia, as we mentioned, without Webb and Proctor, still shorthanded in the bullpen. And Shunk had picked up his 10th save of the season in the victory against Clemson the night before. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Cooper Davis. 1 for 2 nights so far for him. Runner goes on the 3-2, a little slow roller that'll keep out of a double play. Don't know that they would have been able to turn one anyway with the slow roll. Moving to second on the play, Infante is Davis out at first.
Hancock into another 3-ball count there. Had Davis at 1-2 and nibbled a little bit. Again, just a little bit off right now. A little lack of confidence, I feel like, in his fastball. He's shying away from the zone, which is not typically his MO.
There's Austin Martin, who's 0 for 2. He and Blade teamed up for 9th inning heroics as the ball gets away from Marshall and up to third base goes Infante.
See right there, Marshall in position, just unable to make the play. Almost a pass ball. I'm not sure if that hit the dirt.
I don't think it did.
A little too concerned with trying to block it. They should have just reached out and caught it in the air.
We'll see how they score that. Martin did go around, I think. He did. 1-1. They score that a wild pitch. So Infante 90 feet away from giving the Commodores their first run. Chopper. Shunk looks back to runner, flips it across, high throw. Rogers stays with it. Infante has to hold. Now 2 down.
Well, that's just tough right there for Martin. The unproductive out again. All you got to do is hit a ground ball somewhere in the middle of the field to get that run in. Only 2 places you really can't hit it is to the corners. Well, credit Hancock for making a good pitch right there. That's one that I think Martin's going to want back.
Blade, 1 for 2, single in the first, flew out to deep center field in the third. Projected first rounder, rated by ESPN's Keith Law, the number 2 SEC prospect in the June MLB draft, number 12 overall. Hits this one on the infield, and Talley throws him out. They strand Infante at third base. Another scoreless frame for Emerson Hancock. Okay. Two-run bottom of the third for Georgia. That's all the scoring we've had so far tonight. Both of them base hits with 2 outs. Talley's stroke scoring Shepard. Then Cable followed with a base hit that scored Riley Keene. And Georgia continuing their season-long trend of coming up with timely hits. 2 runs, 3 hits for Georgia. No runs, 3 hits for Vanderbilt. And the Commodores have now stranded 3 in scoring position here tonight. Kind of what we expected, though, with Drew Fellows and Emerson Hancock going against each other this evening.
Yeah, Fellows done a great job of just mixing his pitches. Not necessarily overpowering, got enough movement on the fastball. Commands the breaking ball well for a strike and for a ball.
Rocket shot, Martin. High throw, pulls Infante off the bag. He still got the tag down on Shepard's chest for the first out.
Shepard staying aggressive, going after the first pitch. Hits it right on the nose again. A great play by Martin, just falling down to his left there. Good job by Infante hanging with that. There was an awful lot of white right there. You saw that ball almost came out of his glove.
Yep. Riley King, little nubber on the infield. Ray has to charge and flip it over there quick, and they just did get him.
Yeah, 2 pitches, 2 outs there for Fellows. His pitch count was getting up there. George really had put some pressure on him, got him up to 71 pitches, but now just at 73 with 2 outs in the 5th.
Shunk reached on an error back in the 1st and flew out in the 3rd. Georgia's preseason All-American, 3rd team Baseball America utility player, 1st team coach is All-SEC 3rd baseman and 2nd team utility, and a base hit for Shunk, which is going to be more than just 1. It's going to be 2. And a double for Aaron Shunk. 7th double of the season for Shunk. And he's in scoring position with 2 outs.
Good job. That ball rides in on his hands. He's ready for it. First pitch breaking ball, 2 pitches, 2 outs. It's kind of strange to me. Shunk wasn't fooled by it. Stayed right on the fastball from Fellows. And gets his double and just doing a great job on all sides right now. Good defense, some good at bats, and a big time 2-out double.
L.J. Talley, who had the first of Georgia's 2-out singles back in the 3rd to plate those 2 runs for the Bulldogs, bats here again, needing a 2-out hit to score another run. Ball strike from Fellows. Vandy number 3 in the nation, averaging 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. They're behind Mississippi State number 1, Texas A&M number 2. 4 strikeouts for Fellows tonight. But they've come from the bottom of the order. Ball 1. Inside, they appeal down to 3rd, and Tony Walsh says he didn't go. 2-1. Appeared to be the correct call. Shunk off the bag at 2nd with 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Bounces away. And Shunk at 3rd base.
Always a tough block here for Clark. Moving toward the batter, just kind of get a little blind. Got to tuck that glove in a little bit better. Body was late to follow, but anytime that glove gets out in front of your shin guards like that, it's got a chance of ricocheting outside your body.
7th wild pitch of the season for Fellows. He's 3rd in the conference in that number. 3-1 to Talley, hit foul, and Mitch Gaspard, the first base coach, ducks his head.
Fellows not giving in there. 3-1 goes with the off-speed pitch.
Looks like Gaspard might have heard something from the dugout there, not making a play on that thing, instead letting it bounce over his head. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Shunk down at 3rd now. Georgia looking for their 3rd run of the night. Not going to get it there. Infante will take it himself, and the inning comes to a close as Georgia leaves Shunk at 3rd base. We head to the 6th in a tight pitcher's duel. Georgia on top, 2-0. What are they? Oh, no, thank you. Please.
Solid. Oh, actually, yeah, no, I got one. I'm good.
Yeah. Just one.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Sir Foster is grooving. Updating that scoreboard around the SEC. Tennessee leading Mississippi State 2-1. That's top of the 8th. Arkansas and Auburn in the 6th of their second game of their doubleheader. Auburn won the first. And Alabama now, after shutting out South Carolina 9-0 in the first game, leading 3-0 in the second. Missouri 2-1 lead on Kentucky in the fourth. Florida and Ole Miss Rebels lead that one 3-2. That's top of the 4th. Stephen Scott batting for the third time. One ball, one strike from Hancock. Hancock, the winning pitcher in last week's 7-3 victory at Kentucky. Outside 2-1 and improved to 6-1 with that victory. 3 runs, 2 earned on 3 hits, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. 2 weeks ago, career high 8 innings in a tough 1-0 loss against LSU. That's a called strike, and it's 2-2. And in his opening start of conference play, had a career high 12 strikeouts and a 6-1 win at South Carolina. Slicing line drive taken on one hop by Shepard, throws him out.
That was a good play by Shepard right there. You could see his back foot kind of slide out from underneath him. No panic in him, just kind of got his feet back underneath him and made the good throw over to first.
Philip Clark 0 for 2 in this game. One of 4 Vanderbilt players named to the collegiate baseball freshman All-American team a year ago. Still 3 hits shy of 100 for his career. 1-1. Tied for 18th in the national rankings in RBI with Blade. And what, as we mentioned earlier, quite the potent offense for this Vanderbilt team, and so far Hancock has kept them off the board.
Really resorting to that off-speed stuff. That's 3 straight changeups right there from Hancock. And just diving out of the zone a little late.
3 balls and a strike. And a 5-pitch walk.
Again, just one fastball out of those 5 pitches. Hancock really doing this without his ace stuff. He's had to go to some other tricks in his bag. He's got plenty of them. He'd like to be able to find that fastball command.
That's the 3rd walk for Hancock. That's the most walks that he's issued in a game since last May 12th in a loss at #1 Florida.
Yeah, credit these Vanderbilt hitters. They're doing a good job. Really laying off the off-speed stuff. Not venturing out of the zone.
Harrison Ray at the plate. Singled in the second, caught stealing, grounded out in the fourth, pardon me.
Again, might be another good time for some action here, maybe a hit and run.
He's a junior out of Longwood, Florida, Lake Brantley High School. Is that down anywhere near where you grew up?
I'm not
Lake
sure.
Brantley, Longwood?
No, not close enough.
Okay.
Not close enough.
Sorry to put you on the spot. Vanderbilt 1 for 10 with runners on tonight. A visit from Sean Kinney, Georgia's pitch coach.
Yeah, maybe just settling Emerson down here a little bit.
Emerson looked like he, I don't want to say lost his cool. I don't think that would be the best way to describe it. When he missed on that off-speed pitch that kind of died out of the strike zone, looked like it upset him a little bit. Looked like he might have said something kind of over his shoulder to the umpire. Not sure, but it kind of looked that way. And maybe that's what they're out there to try to get him redirected and right back in the center of the road again.
Yeah, and I think also throwing to the new catcher, it's tough to get into a rhythm. You feel like you've had a couple of strikeouts, reach first base. Just a little bit different look in the way he sets up, the way he gives his glove to you, target and whatnot. So I think just having a tough time finding a rhythm here, but he's done a good job at battling and getting the out when he needs to.
Here's the 2-0 to Ray. It's now 3-0. This is very uncharacteristic for Hancock. You just don't get this from him very often. As I mentioned, it's been since last May that he walked 4 guys in a game, and he just did it here tonight. Back-to-back in the 6th inning.
Yeah, and some big misses, too.
And as you pointed out, and you've been pointing this out the entire night, it's a fastball, which is normally a pitch that he's got great command of.
Yeah, and he's really been able to battle through it and use his other pitches to get himself back in the zone. But at this point, really kind of in a spot where nothing's really working for him. You just got to grind it out, trust your stuff in the zone, and try and get that ground ball double play right here.
Well, another great scoring opportunity here for Vanderbilt comes in the top of the 6th with Ethan Paul, their top RBI guy, stepping to the plate with 2 aboard and 1 out.
See, that's a little surprising there out of Paul, going after that first pitch breaking ball after 8 of the last 9 pitches have been for a ball. I know you want to be aggressive with men in scoring position. I just think maybe more aggressive on a fastball in that situation. And see, I think this would be a nice situation here late in the game to run that blind pick at second, but you've already used it there in the first inning, so it's not there to bail you out when you're having a tough time finding the zone.
Hancock glances back at second, 0-1 pitch. They're slow, 1-1.
And breaking ball to changeup, just not a lot of confidence in that fastball right now.
Hancock started the season with 16 2/3 scoreless innings. Did not surrender his first run until the 3-1 victory at Georgia Southern the 3rd weekend of the season. As it is, he's still only surrendered 5 earned runs this year. And now ahead in the count 1-2 to Ethan Paul.
Another good changeup. He's really got Paul set up for a good fastball here if he can locate it. He's thrown 3 off-speed pitches in a row.
Paul, the nation's number 14 ranked senior, as rated by Perfect Game. In a clutch situation right here. 1-2 pitch. Got him! Hancock with strikeout number 5.
And Again, goes to the breaking ball right here. Just great location. Back foot there to the lefty. A dangerous pitch, but he's able to get it inside of his barrel.
91 pitches now for Hancock. And Duvall back up the middle, base hit. Here comes Clark around third. Wade by Corbin. He will score without a throw. Runners at the corners as Vanderbilt has cut the Georgia lead to 2-1 on the 2-out base hit by Ty Duvall.
And a great job here by Duvall. He saw how Paul was pitched, sitting on the first pitch breaking ball. You can see the get me over stays out over the plate, and he's ready for it. Hits it right back up the middle. A good approach again by this Vanderbilt offense.
9th RBI of the season for Duvall, and every one of the runs that's been driven in here tonight have come on 2-out singles. Infante at the plate, swings and misses the fastball. Hancock still popping 95 here on his 93rd pitch.
And that might be the best fastball he's thrown in 2 innings.
And actually that was pitch number 94. One pitch to Infante. There's the strike. It's 0-2. Infante 3 for 9 with a homer, 2 other extra base hits last week against Tennessee, but down in the count now 0-2. Fouled that one to the backstop. Runners at the corners. Commodores 90 feet away from tying this, but Georgia a strike away from ending the inning. Change up from Hancock out of the strike zone, 1-2. '21 career homers for Infante, 2 of them coming last week. Swing and a miss. And Hancock leaves the tying run at third base. But Vanderbilt cuts into the Georgia lead. It's 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
Two of the top teams in the nation do battle in Athens. Vandy has the bats to challenge. The Bulldogs bring the heat. 4th-ranked Vanderbilt, 7th-ranked Georgia, Sunday at noon on the SEC Network.
And before that, Sunday at noon on the SEC Network, we'll have Game 2 of the series tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern on SEC Network Plus. And what a matchup we've got there. Patrick Araby, the senior right-hander at 5-0 and an ERA of 1.22 going for the Commodores against Georgia left-hander C.J. Smith. And then on Sunday, Kumar Rocker from North Oconee High School, right around the corner here from the University of Georgia, back home, back in his home city, basically, taking on Tony Losi and the Bulldogs. And Mike Morgan and David DeLucci will have the call for you on Sunday, and Jason and I will be back with you tomorrow. John Cable leading off the bottom of the 6th. Cable with an RBI single plating the Bulldogs' second run back in the 3rd. Also flew out to left back in the 1st. Pardon me. One to Cable. Chopper on the infield. Ray on a short hop takes it. Connor Tate has struck out twice in this game, looking and swinging as he steps to the plate. Strike from Fellows to get things started. Commodores have won 8 of their last 9. Their only misstep in that stretch. 7-6 loss to Tennessee last Sunday. Pitch outside, 1-1. They won 2 out of 3 from the Volunteers last weekend. Georgia's won 3 straight, 4 out of 5. And Tate sticks his bat out there and lost that to center field, and Connor Davis runs under it. Cheney Rogers to the plate. Georgia's gotten precious little, in fact, little to nothing at all out of the bottom 4 guys in the order. Tate's now 0 for 3, Rogers 0 for 2, Marshall 0 for 2, and Maxwell 0 for 2. And that was just the second time out of those 2 guys they put the ball to the outfield, but Rogers breaks that streak with a base hit to left field.
Really a big base knock here to get Marshall a shot in this inning. I feel like you kind of want to get through this part of your order, kind of roll it over, get back to the top. So a big 2-out knock there from Rogers to get Marshall up. And Marshall's a dangerous hitter. He'll run into one with a man on. So a good situation here for Georgia, either in this inning or the next.
That was just the 6th hit for Rogers in 9 SEC games. Breaking ball missed by Marshall. He struck out swinging his first 2 times up. Big news for Vanderbilt back home in Nashville today, where Jerry Stackhouse, the former North Carolina Tar Heel star, NBA star, named the new head coach of the men's basketball program. So our best of luck wishes to him as he takes over that Commodores hoops program. Suffered through a very disappointing season this past year. One ball, 2 strikes. Fastball missed, 2-2. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 5 hits allowed by Fellows so far tonight. Two balls, 2 strikes to Shane Marshall. Third time he has struck out tonight, so Fellows has feasted on him. 3 of his 5 strikeouts have come against Georgia's freshman catcher and number 8 hitter.
I guess he's playing some defense here.
Already at 97 pitches, Hancock coming back out to pitch the 7th inning so far tonight. 6 strikeouts, uncharacteristic 4 walks, and he's also scattered 4 hits.
Yeah, he definitely hasn't been on his A game, but has managed to get that big out when he's needed to. Has got a couple of outs with men at third, less than 2 outs when Vanderbilt didn't even need a hit to score, able to get the big out to the corner of the infield, big strikeout. So he's done a good job of battling when he needed to, and he just hasn't had his A stuff today.
And how even the starting pitcher comparison between Fellows and Hancock through their first 6 innings.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that number that sticks out is just that 4 walks from Hancock. I think Fellows has done a masterful job getting a lot of swings out of the zone. He's doing a good job at really kind of exposing the aggression of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, the 4 walks for Hancock tonight. The total of his walks the last 2 starts combined.
Yeah, and I think that's just the fastball command. He hasn't been able to find that good rhythm in the fastball command, and really that's your bedrock.
Cooper Davis, I think I referred to him as Connor Davis earlier, a few moments ago, a couple of innings ago, pardon me. Cooper Davis batting for the 4th time. Called strike, 2-2. Strikeout number 7.
And I think that big strikeout to end the 6th inning from Infante threw some of his best fastballs. You see Hancock right there starting to feel it again. I think he's starting to find that fastball. And it's amazing what he's been able to do just to hold Vanderbilt to 1 run with not having his A stuff. And if he can find it, you're going to watch out.
Martin is 0 for 3. His average has dropped 13 points to a paltry 436. Wow. Different looking Hancock here for the 7th. They must have told him maybe this is your last inning, right?
He just painted that inside corner. I think he might have talked them into going back out there saying, hey, I found my fastball. I can give you one more good one.
Rode that one in on Martin's hands. It's 1-2.
Very good setup pitch. Not too far out of the zone. Changed the eye level.
1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Martin. Chopper on the infield. Shepard on the run, skipping a throw, and there's 2 down.
Well, that's a great play by Shepard right there. He kind of played himself into a bad hop, gets the tweener, and still the glovesmanship to make the adjustment on the run like that. He had already committed to charging that ball, just kind of in between hop, able to glove it well and make the good throw. Not an easy play.
Here's Blade, 1 for 3, his single back in the first, but he has flown out and grounded out since.
That was a pitch Blade, I think, maybe would like to have back changeup up in the zone, out over. Just looking for something else.
Trying to look back and see the last time Martin went 0 for 4 in a game. And the answer this season is never. In fact, he's had only 1 game the entire season where he's not had a base hit out of 23. Day behind in the count 0-2.
You got to go change up down and away right here if you're Hancock.
He does. Got him. Strikes out Blade. What might have been the final batter for Hancock in this game is strikeout number 8. And maybe the most impressive inning of the night for Hancock.
Yeah, that's it for him. No, I'm not sure about Fellows. No, he's going back out. He's got his glove. Old number 66.
He's at 94 pitches. Hits at a premium, runs even more so tonight. As we head to the bottom of the 7th, and 7th-ranked Georgia leading 4th-ranked Vanderbilt 2-1 in this battle in the SEC East Division. A victory here tonight would give Georgia a 2-game lead on the Commodores and improve them to an SEC leading 8-2 on the season. Tucker Maxwell leads off the bottom of the 7th. He's grounded out twice tonight. That was pitch number 95 for Fellows. In the air, shallow center field. Davis calls him off. Shepard is 1 for 3, but that one was back in the third that got the 2-run inning jump started with his 1-out single. No balls, 2 strikes to Cam Shepard. The Bulldogs bat here in the bottom of the 7th, looking for their 16th home win of the season and their 7th against a top 25 opponent. Quite frankly, a rival that they have not been able to beat very much over the last 15 years. Fellows now at 100 pitches. With an out here in the 7th. Slow roller. And Paul throws out Shepard for the 2nd out. I asked Coach Strickland about Vanderbilt's dominance in the series. You know, if that was any extra motivation for his players coming into this series. He said, quite frankly, I highly doubt that my players even know about that. All they remember is last year when we felt like we had a chance to win the series. They won the opening game in Nashville, then dropped the last 2. He says that's probably what they remember. And most of that, you know, history that we elaborated on, the dominance of the Commodores over the last couple of decades here, means really nothing to the current players on either side.
Yeah, I think at this point you're just looking at an opponent that's, they're pretty evenly matched as the scoreboard shows you. And you're just hoping to get the victory and keep that momentum in the SEC.
Last year at Vanderbilt, Bulldogs won the opener 3-2, then suffered 5-3 and 8-3 losses on the back end of that series. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Chop foul, 2-2. The last time Georgia beat Vanderbilt in a series here in Athens, back in 2003.
I was there and I don't even remember that one. That's a while ago.
Called strike 3. Riley King will walk slowly back to the dugout as Fellows picks up his 5th strikeout of the night. Yeah. Do you need the
Golly, my eyes just started really itching out of nowhere.
Oh, really?
It's unbelievable. I was walking up, and you know where the rain couldn't fall, the seats are just yellow. Something like 6,200 pollen count. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds high and bad.
It's not good. Well, Zach Christopher will be the pitcher for the Bulldogs here in the 8th inning. They'll be counting on Christopher to get their 3 outs here and then give the ball to Shunkno down in the 9th if it's still close.
Yeah, and Christopher, just a great competitor out there. You see that 5.31 ERA, but I think it's a little misleading as he got off to a little bit of a slow start. He's definitely been a go-to guy for the last couple of years. Max effort guy, going to be 90 to 93, good breaking ball. But really the presence out there on the mound, he's just an extreme competitor.
8 strikeouts for Hancock in his 7 innings of work. He ended up giving up 4 hits, but 3 of those hits came to the first 6 batters that he faced, and then just 1 the rest of the way. He did walk 4, which was high for him, but gave up only 1 run. So that makes 7 of his last 8 starts, he's allowed 1 run or less through 112 pitches.
And against this Vanderbilt offense, that's really incredible. And really, you gotta commend him for doing it with his B game. Really, I think we've seen Emerson Hancock with a lot better command of his stuff than he had tonight. But he did a great job at really battling and competing.
Ball chopped foul down the first base line. Christopher making his 11th appearance of the season. As you mentioned, the 5.31 ERA, but he does have a save, and he's 3-0. 29 strikeouts in just over 20 innings of work with 8 walks. He has given up 4 home runs, which leads the team, and opponents are batting over 300 against him. But I think you made the point. I mean, Georgia less concerned about the numbers and more concerned about Christopher, and they believe in Christopher.
Absolutely. You know, and I think the home runs show up because his fastball is a little bit flatter. He doesn't quite get the angle of an Emerson Hancock or a Losi. But again, he's the type of guy, you know, the players are going to play a little bit better when he's on the mound just because he brings that competitive nature to the game.
Had 31 appearances a year ago, has a 10-3 record overall in his career, and a 4.70 ERA with 7 saves. Gets the strikeout right there of Steven Scott, and there's one down here in the 8th.
Good little changeup right here. Keeps it down in the zone. Bottom falls out there late. Marshall does a good job at hanging on there on the foul tip.
Philip Clark. Clark scored the only run for the Commodores tonight. Back an inning ago, back in the 6th inning, pardon me. 1-out walk and scored on the 2-out single by Duvall. Christopher filling up the strike zone here since coming in. Heading the count 0-2. Oh-2 pitch from Christopher. Fastball low and away. 1-2. Junior out of Marietta, Georgia, and baseball powerhouse Walton High School. Two and two. I believe he's the only pitcher on the Georgia staff that's under 6 feet tall.
Might be the only player on the team under 6 feet. They have a very big squad.
2-2, breaking ball outside, 3-2. He's 5'9", listed 185. Got him. Filthy. Christopher. Strikeout back-to-back.
Yeah, if you're going to throw a 2-2, you better be willing to throw a 3-2. And he missed with the curveball on the 2-2, comes right back with it. And Clark has nothing to do but go back to the dugout. A great pitch there from Christopher.
2 outs now. And here's Harrison Ray. He's been on base twice in this game. Single in the second, walked in the sixth with a ground out sandwiched in between. Ray's picked up a hit in 19 of his last 21 starts, including tonight. Making his 23rd start here tonight, which betters his 22 starts from a year ago as a sophomore. Here's the 1-1 from Christopher. Fastball. 2-1. Georgia 25-5. This is their best start since 2009 when they were also 25-5 through 30 games. Count now 3-1. They were also 7-2 in the SEC. And that 2009 team was ranked #1 in the nation 5 different times. And Ray with the 2-out walk. 3rd time on base for him. Gets Ethan Paul to the plate. He's glad that Hancock's out of there. He struck out twice. Tough luck out in the 4th when he shot a ball straight back up the middle and it ricocheted off of Hancock's foot, and Shunk was able to throw him out. Vanderbilt down to their final 4 outs here tonight. They have not dropped a series opener this season. 7-0 in series openers. They have not lost a night game this season. Unbelievably, they are 10-0 at night. Two 2-0 to Paul. Strike from Christopher. Fastball painted the black. 2-1. Only 9 total hits in this game between these two teams. And all 3 runs have come on 2-out singles. 2-1 pitch. In there for a strike. 2-2. Now Christopher strike away from getting his team back in the dugout. Two. Got him! Bounces away. Marshall picks it up, throws him out, and Christopher strikes out the side. It started with Scott swinging, Clark looking, Paul swinging, and the throw out. Okay.
Let's see.
Zach King.
90 to 94, slider 78 to 80, changeup 80-82.
This would be Fellows' first loss of the season.
Yeah, they don't lose on Friday. Long way to go. Long way to go. Those last three are tough. And Shunk's been so good, it's almost like, oh, how long can it last? Who do they have coming up, too? So, well.
6'6" junior left-hander Zach King out of Spring Hill, Tennessee High School, the new pitcher for the Commodores.
Yeah, King with a good fastball, 90 to 94. Got a slider around 78 to 80. Gonna look to get ahead with that fastball, then expend with the breaking ball.
Making his 10th appearance, his 6th appearance out of the pen. He's 0-2, 6.05 ERA with a save. He struck out 27, walked 9, giving up 19 hits in 19-plus innings, and opponents batting .268 against him. If the Bulldogs can hold on and win here, it would be the first loss of the season for Fellows, who went 7 innings, giving up 2 runs on 5 hits with a walk and 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, great performance. It would be a tough luck loss for Drake Fellows, as he really had Georgia off balance pretty much all night. Georgia able to take advantage of their opportunity with a couple of 2-out knocks, get those 2 runs back in the third. But just one other runner in scoring position after that. So a good job there by Fellows.
What's interesting about what's happened here is Shunk leading off the inning. Typically, in this situation, if he were going to be pitching in the 9th, he'd be down in the bullpen warming up right now.
Yeah, if he gets on, he better score.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what it boils down to. Otherwise, you got to run down to the bullpen and get loose in a hurry.
Now, Shunk is not a guy that it takes a lot of pitches to get loose.
No, he's been playing, the entire game, so he's warm. It's just a matter of getting a feel for that mound, and you only get 8 pitches out on the game mound.
0-1 from King is fouled back over the overhang. Count 0-2 to Shunk. .94 from King right there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Getting fouled out of play. Georgia and Vanderbilt game 2 tomorrow. We'll have it for you 2 o'clock Eastern time here on SEC Network Plus. One, 2 from King. Outside 2-2. Shunk at 314. Double back in the 5th. Right back to King. Underhand toss, 1 out. Let's see what Shunk does as he head down to the bullpen to get a few tosses in here. L.J. Talley, one of Georgia's 2 RBI singles tonight. Back in the 3rd inning. Been on base twice. See if Shunk emerges down in that bullpen. Get there through a tunnel, so we don't necessarily see him run down there. Fastball missed, 2-0. There he is. He snuck on down there. And he'll be over by the time he gets all those wraps off. 2-0 in there. Actually missed. It's 3-0.
And you see Talley looking over in the dugout. He did that on 2-0 as well. And I think Coach Strickland may have said, take one, give Shunk some time.
Yeah, take some time here. Three balls and a strike now to Talley.
And you mentioned Talley being so difficult to strike out. It just makes you that much better of a hitter in these type counts because you're not worried about getting to 2 strikes.
Little blooper. Martin makes the basket catch. Like had Talley all tangled up. 2 outs.
Yeah, it looked like he was a little bit late on a fastball in there. In a 3-1 situation, you don't expect that out of Talley.
Looks like Georgia's going to burn some more time here. What do you think they're talking about? Let's see how long we can wait. Give Shunk a few more tosses. And how do you like it here in Athens? Yeah. Enjoying your senior year? Yeah, Coach, I am. Yeah, it's been fun. I like playing here.
Hey, maybe telling him to take a strike here, but I don't know. I think in this situation as a hitter, you always say, you know, hey, this is like a 3-0 green light for you. If it's there, hit it well. And if it's not, go ahead and take it. Give us a little bit more time.
Fastball strike from King. And that ball is scorched to center field, but right at Davis, and that'll bring the 8th to a close. Shunk time when we get back. Head to the top of the 9th. Georgia 3 outs away from winning the series opener. I mean, that was.
Yeah. What are you having for dinner tonight?
Yeah, that was totally blatant. I know, because it's like, Coach,
yeah, I get it.
We're just killing time.
Looks like the other Tate is out to 3rd.
Yeah.
And everything else will stay the same.
Yeah, no chance.
I'm kind of surprised not to see Sullivan out there at first base.
Yeah. And also
Cole Tate, I guess. Yeah.
a lot of zeros on that line score as we head to the top of the 9th, and Georgia leading Vanderbilt 2-1, and they now give the ball to Aaron Shunk, who is number 2 in the nation with 10 saves, trailing only UT Arlington's Andrew Gross, who has 12.
Yeah, and Shunk doesn't do anything terribly special. He just doesn't make mistakes. Doesn't hurt himself with the walk. Keeps the ball down in the zone. Has a little bit of late action and late life to his fastball. Commands the breaking ball in the zone for a strike. And you have to earn it in order to score a run off of Shunk.
It's been complex in its simplicity. 1-0, 10 saves, 12 appearances, 12 games finished. Was his second in the conference, 1.88 ERA. And what makes him so special, I think it's the fact that he has only 3 walks in 14 innings. He's given up only 7 hits, 12 strikeouts, opponents batting just 146 against him.
Yeah, and he's the type of guy, the way he locates his pitches, it's going to take 3 hits to score a run off him typically. So it's just one of those things. He's only given up 7 hits all year, so it's just tough to piece it together. You got good defense behind you. And he's got a good part of the order to face here, going 8-9-1, and Duvall, Infante, and then Davis. So keeping Blade down the batting order is huge. Definitely don't want to face him this inning.
Well, with Shunk climbing up on the hill, that means Cole Tate takes over at third base. So that's the one change in the infield for the Bulldogs as he takes a look at his scouting report as Duvall steps to the plate. Duvall drove in the Commodores' only run with a 2-out single back in the 6th. And the first pitch to him is a strike. Shunk on the Baseball Writers Stopper of the Year watch list. (0-2). And I would think being number 2 in the nation in saves, and coupled with the fact that you're also an every play third baseman, I think that would make you a leading candidate.
Absolutely, and a quality third baseman at that. Really, all 3 facets of the game, he's just elite. He's a threat at the plate. He's phenomenal defensively. He does a great job on the mound here in the late innings, the toughest 3 outs of the game to get.
Count goes 2-2.
Tyler Simpson hearing it from the crowd. Looked like a pretty good pitch. Stayed away just long enough.
Rogers, 1 out.
Again, Shunk just gets ahead, gets the hitter in the defensive, and forces that hitter to hit his pitch. And I think that's why he's so tough.
I think we'll have a pinch hitter here for Infante. Looks like Walker Grisanti. Another one of those seniors. So I think we've seen all 4 of their senior position players here tonight. And Raby, the other senior, will be the starting pitcher tomorrow out of the 5 that we were talking about earlier. That's a .429 batting average in very limited play. This is his 10th game appearance. He's 6 for 14 on the season. He has driven in 5 runs. And he hits this one deep and gone. We're tied. My goodness, no doubt about that. Wow. How about pushing the right button? Tim Corbin, pitch hitting Grisanti, who delivered that one a moonshot over the scoreboard.
Yeah, you lean on your seniors. A great job right there. Wasting no time at all. Gets the breaking ball a little up in the zone. It was like he was sitting on it. And right there in his wheelhouse, coming low and in. Boy, he gave that a ride. Woo.
Don't know that I've ever seen anybody hit a ball quite that far off of Shunk before.
No, rarely do you see a whole lot of balls get up in the air.
So we'll see how Shunk responds to that. Cooper Davis, top of the order at the plate now for the 5th time tonight. Wow, Sonic unloaded here in a hostile environment, no less. Slap foul. Kind of takes us back full circle to the conversation we were having with Tim Corbin in the dugout prior to the game about how he loves his seniors. Their seniors know their role. Grassanti's role, pinch hitter, and being ready to fulfill that role when called upon.
Yeah, that's not an easy role to have. Comes in a big situation, gets a huge knock, and tie this ball game up.
Got him with the fastball, 2 outs.
And Shunk does a good job at coming back, staying within himself. Not a terrible pitch there on the breaking ball. Just kind of got, a little snuck up on trying to flip me a first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. And he comes back right there, gets ahead 0-2, gets the strikeout.
Here's Austin Martin. Did he go? He did. One-two pitch. Hot shot. Tate, high throw. Got him. Got his foot down. Rogers did a good job to plant that foot to get the final out. But Walker Grassanti, just his 15th at-bat of the season, blast into the night, and we'll have a bottom of the ninth. We're tied at 2.
I mean, it's silly, but
man. We're gonna have extra innings. There's no way Georgia's bottom of the order is going to produce a run.
no. You know what? When he stood up, though, I'm like, golly, that guy's huge. Yeah, they're going to go to review. So
they're reviewing.
Yeah, given the they are.
He's so funny.
He's out. Yeah.
Confirmed it. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Kind of a late review. As we went to break, the Commodores wanted a review of that play at first base. And the umpires have confirmed that indeed Rogers did plant the foot on the bag on the high throw from Tate. And just did beat the base runner, Martin, who's now 0 for 5 in this game, by the way, for the first time this season.
Yeah, always a tough play. Tate coming in off the bench, has to make a long throw across the diamond. Probably hadn't thrown since earlier today in pregame warm-up, so But looks like they got the call right. Rogers' foot did come down just in time.
So Zach King gets another inning here as Walker Grisanti tied this game with a blast over the scoreboard. And we're 2-2, and Georgia's got the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up here in the bottom of the ninth. We could be headed to free baseball unless Georgia can come up with a rally here from the bottom of the order. They've gotten one hit out of those 3 batters so far tonight.
Well, you know, Jernigan's in for Tate.
That's right.
And he has the speed and the style of a leadoff hitter. So if you can get him on, there's a good chance, bunt him over, get him to second base. He's definitely got the speed to do so, but got to put that ball in play first or find a way to walk.
Well, Coach was encouraged by his play at Kennesaw State. Didn't get a hit against the Owls, but they felt like he was competitive in his at-bat, played well defensively. He had been scuffling in SEC play. In fact, he's 1 for 18 in 6 SEC starts, 8 total games. So gets an opportunity here to bat for the first time tonight here in the bottom of the ninth. Ball 1 from King. See Jernigan's overall numbers: 242 with 7 RBI. And as you mentioned, Jason, he's got great speed. Just really scuffling when he got into conference play. And strikeouts the big problem. And 9 strikeouts and 18 at-bats, and you can't utilize your speed when you're striking out.
Yeah, absolutely. You just got to find a way to put the ball in play. I mean, we saw him when we first filled in there at left field. The first 4 or 5 hits he had didn't leave the infield. He just put it in play and beat it out.
3-1. Georgia has not gotten a leadoff man on in this game. Three and 2. Payoff pitch from King. Got him. And Jernigan's struggles continue.
Yeah, it looked like he chased ball 4 there. A little too anxious, ball up in the zone. That's probably too close to take, just a little bit late, trying to see it deep. And that ball kind of elevated on him. That's a tough one.
Cheney Rogers 1 for 3, singled his last time up. 1 of 5 hits for Georgia tonight. 3 of the 5 hits came in the 3rd inning. Coupled with a hit batter, ended up scoring the 2 runs for Georgia. Kind of takes us back to the conversation that we were having earlier in the evening. Georgia not a very explosive offense. You see how it took 3 singles and a hit batter to get those 2 runs. And what a difference the long ball can make for you, as we saw in the top of the ninth. One and 2 to Rogers. Back up the middle, gonna roll. Be stopped by Ray, but trickles by his glove. That'll be an infield hit. I don't know even if Ray had been able to come up with that cleanly, he was going to throw out Rogers, and so a second hit tonight for Rogers.
Yeah, that was perfectly placed. I don't think Ray has a shot if he does field it clean. And going for that sliding backhand, going to get rid of it, but you know, Rogers moves pretty well for as big as he is down the line, so I think that's a clear infield single.
Get Shane Marshall to the plate. He is 0 for 3 tonight with 3 strikeouts. And none happier than he that Fellows is no longer in the game.
That's right.
Give me a shot at somebody else, please. Strike one.
And King, a young man, shown some signs of power too, so he can definitely drive a gap here, and I think Rogers has the ability to score from first.
Marshall now with 9 strikeouts in 15 SEC at-bats. Little blooper. Infante behind the bag has to maneuver around the first base umpire, Joseph Smith, to make the grab, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, good pitch there by King, not allowing Marshall to get extended. Comes in on his hands right there.
Tucker Maxwell's 0 for 3. Maxwell's been kind of quiet since that stretch he had back in mid-March. Maxwell has only 2 hits in his last 5+ games. Two balls and no strikes to Tucker Maxwell. Strike number 1.
It's a good take right there by Maxwell, 2-0. Great pitcher's pitch by King right on the corner. Maxwell definitely looks locked in.
3-1. Sitting fastball here, no doubt, right?
Absolutely.
Got to throw a fastball.
Got to be in the right spot. He did a great job 2-0 at taking that pitch on the corner. Just don't want to get yourself out swinging at a pitcher's pitch.
Maxwell calls time now, steps back in. 2 outs here, bottom of the 9th. Rogers at first, the 1-out single. 3-1 from King. Back to the screen, 3-2.
Yeah, good hack there by Maxwell. Just missed it, maybe got a little too big on it. But in a 3-1 count, why not?
Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. King in relief of Fellows. Payoff pitch with the runner going. Ball 4. Winning run at second base. And here's Georgia's leadoff hitter, Cam Shepard, hit the ball very well his first 2 times up. 1 and out, 1 a base hit. It's Scott Brown, the pitching coach for the Commodores, out of the dugout. Typically, Brown does not make changes.
I think this is one of those situations where you really got to remind King, respect Shepard. I mean, I know it says 233, but he's a much more dangerous hitter than a 233 hitter. He squared up 4 balls tonight,
yeah.
So Georgia's got to feel pretty good with him up at the plate. I think it's just a reminder of this is how we're going to pitch him, and you got to bear down right here.
Brown's visit complete. And once again on a Friday night in the Southeastern Conference, we come down to perhaps the very last pitch of the game. First place in the SEC East Division on the line tonight between these two top 7 ranked teams in the country. And the winning run at second base for Georgia in a 2-2 ball game. Shepard fouls this one back. It's 0-1. Bulldogs 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Both of those hits coming back in their 2-run third inning from Talley and Cable. King 0-1 pitch. Missed low, 1-1. Cheney Rogers got the inning started for Georgia after the strikeout of Jernigan with a 1-out single, and now he's at second after the walk to Maxwell. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Rogers really crept off of second base there, anticipating Shepard putting that ball in play. Looked like Ray was a little late to react. I think Clark thought he had himself an out there.
Georgia perhaps down to their final strike here in the ninth. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rogers, the winning run off the bag at second, and the 1-2 pitch from King. Called strike 3. We go to the 10th. So Georgia leaves the potential winning run at second. 10th inning coming up after the break.
The Grisanti bomb. 17. Okay. Extra innings here in Athens, and this is how we got there. Third inning, L.J. Talley with a single up the middle, RBI, 2-out RBI single. Then John Cable follows that with an RBI single. Duvall in the 6th. A 2-out RBI single, and then in the 9th, Grisanti coming in a pinch hit situation, goes deep off of Aaron Shunk. That tied it all up at 2-2. Georgia threatened in the bottom of the 9th, unable to come up with the big knock. So we're going to the 10th inning here, and Aaron Shunk back out on the mound.
Blade will lead things off for the Commodores here. goes after the first pitch and skies it into foul territory. And Tate lost it. He totally overran that, had no idea where it was coming down.
Well, that's a tough one. It gets that high up in the air. It's coming back toward the field of play. You can see him hustle over to the wall and just come back a little bit late, but I'll tell you, that's not the guy you want to give a second life to in J.J. Bleday.
Absolutely not. He's 1 for 4 in this game. That one coming back in the first. Here's the 0-1 from Shunk. Did Bleday go? He did. It's 0-2. Number 6 in the nation with his 12 home runs, which lead the SEC. 6 of those 12 home runs have come in the last 6 games. He homered in 4 consecutive games last week, the first Vanderbilt player to do that since Aaron Westlake back in 2010. Man, he rifled that thing foul. Knocked a couple of bricks loose out there.
Yeah, he was
hard
all over that. It's just a dangerous pitch to the lefties there. The breaking ball coming in to their wheelhouse. Typically lefties like that low and in pitch.
1-2 from Shunk. It's a fastball that missed high. 2-2. Shunk picked up his first win of the season last Saturday in the victory at Kentucky. Another high shot over on the left side of the infield, and Tate has no idea again where it is, and Shepard will take it this time.
Great job by Shepard right there. You could see him as he was running over to that, keeping some eyes on Tate. Does he have it? Does he not have it? He's peeking, and then he goes ahead and just calls him off.
Again, Tate looked like a deer in the headlights on that.
Well, I know that feeling.
Pop-up.
I know that feeling. Catching those pop-ups down third base, first base side are extremely tough. And it's much easier for that shortstop. The ball's always in front of him as he's running that way.
Steven Scott is 0 for 4 in this game with a couple of strikeouts. Strike from Shunk. 1-1. Again, a pop-up over on that left side, and it's going to be out of play.
I almost think Mandy's picking on Tate over there.
I was getting ready to say, Tate's got to think, please stop.
Yeah, work a lot more on ground balls playing third than you do fly balls. It's so tough to duplicate that with a pitching machine or anything, to really get that sense of the ball coming back as hard as it does into the field of play.
1-2 outside, 2-2. And now they've got the shift on, and Tate will slide over and play Shepard's spot at shortstop, and Shepard on the right-hand side of the second base bag. Popped up. Let's see who's going to take this. Shunk says, I'll do it. I'm a third baseman. Two outs. Normally you don't want the pitcher to take it there, but that's your third baseman who's the pitcher.
He really did. He had the best shot at it. Everybody was playing, really deep. Normally you would think one of your corner infielders would help out, but
right.
Tate was playing shortstop, and Rogers was playing short right field.
So 2 outs. Here's Clark. 0 for 3. Walked and scored back in the 6th on the single by Duvall. As we mentioned, Shunk, the winning pitcher last week against Kentucky. His first win of the season. 2 scoreless innings, 3 strikeouts. in the Bulldogs' 10-8, 10-inning victory. So he finds himself in another extra inning ball game here tonight against Vanderbilt. Strike two.
And really, regardless of how this game turns out, Vanderbilt's done a good job at possibly burning Shunk for the rest of the weekend as he is about to throw his 30th pitch.
Yeah, no doubt.
That was awfully close. I think Marshall gets beat just a little bit on it. And I think Tyler Simpson maybe saw a little bit too much glove movement there. That looked like a good pitch.
2-2 pitch in the air, left field. Jernigan drifting back right in front of the warning track has it, and Shunk gets the Commodores 3 up, 3 down here in the 10th. Bulldogs batting with a chance to win it when we get back. Tyler Brown. Yeah. Both of those were within the last week. Well, the one for Georgia, the two wins were the win for Georgia and the win for the Commodores. Tyler Brown becomes the third pitcher used by Vanderbilt, the right-handed sophomore out of Ohio. Brown making his team-leading 13th appearance. He leads the team with 6 saves, no record, 1.80 ERA. He has walked only 3 in 20 innings with 29 strikeouts. Opponents batting just 192 against him.
He's going to be similar to Shunk. 91 to 94, got a good slider. The little cutter he's going to throw in to the lefties away from the righties. So pretty similar in that he's just not going to, he's going to miss barrels and just not get himself into trouble.
Averages 1.4 walks per 9 innings. So he's going to be around the plate, not going to give any free passes. And he comes in to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Georgia. Let's see what else they've got here. We've got, you see both wins for these teams. Georgia's win in extra innings came last Saturday against Kentucky, and Vanderbilt's win in extra innings came on Tuesday night against Western Kentucky. And the rally capsules, how many caps? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 caps.
I like the shades next to it. I think that's what's going to get the run there. You got the flip-ups and the regular shades here at night. Yeah, that's pretty special. Yeah, it's nice to see the boys staying loose in such a tight ball game.
It's Riley King to start the bottom of the 10th for Georgia. Martin, by the way, now playing first base for Vanderbilt. And that ball hits slowly, backhanded by the shortstop. No place to go with it for Paul. And that's an infield hit for Riley King.
looks like that little cutter, and King hits it off the end, just far enough away there from Paul. He doesn't have a play at first base. And Georgia gets its leadoff man on for the first time tonight.
And how about Aaron Shunk steps to the plate with a chance to redeem himself, if you will. He was the guy that gave up that home run to Grisati in the top of the ninth. That has us playing here in the bottom of the 10th. And he was thinking exactly what I was talking about. By the way, the defensive changes since they pinch hit for Infante there in that ninth inning. Martin has moved over to first base, and Gonzalez is now playing third. Oh, 1, ball 1. Cooled down as the evening has gone on here. Started out in the low 70s, I believe, but we're down in the 60s now. Air kind of heavy, some dampness in it, and no wind at all virtually the entire night. 1-1 pitch. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to Aaron Shunk. You can see kind of the humidity hanging in the air here on this April evening. 63 right now. Hitter's pitch, 2-1. Hit on the ground, right side. Ray gets in front of it. Runner advances to second as Shunk does his job. Moves King into scoring position with 1 out.
I think you got to be careful right here with Talley. If you're Brown, as Cole Tate has taken over in the DH spot for Cable.
Yeah, I'd be walking Talley right here. Wouldn't you?
Yes, I would.
I mean, his run means nothing.
Yeah. Either the unintentional, intentional, or just put him on.
Well, all you got to say is we want to walk him. You don't even have to throw the pitches anymore.
You got the double play in order. I think that would be the smart move.
I'd be shocked if they throw a pitch to Talley here. Certainly would be unnecessary. I mean, Cole Tate, pardon me. Yeah, they're going to walk him. That's the thing to do.
Yeah, had to put the ball back in play in order to walk him.
Cole Tate is 2 for 11 in his career this season. So we'll see if he can rise to the occasion now that the Commodores have intentionally walked L.J. Talley. In the first pitch, fouled out of play. This is just the second SEC plate appearance for Tate. Oh, 1. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Riley King down at second base represents the winning run. Georgia's had the winning run at second now in back-to-back innings. Bottom of the ninth now, here again in the bottom of the 10th. Brown, 0-2 pitch. Set up outside, ball one. And Randon Jernigan is on deck. He, remember, has really struggled. Struck out his last time up.
Looks like they might pinch hit for him. C.J. Smith grabbed a bat.
1-2. Called strike 3. 2 out in the inning.
It's a good slider right there on the outer corner. I think Tate's really the best pitch he had to hit was that first one he fouled off. And Brown did a good job of staying away from him after that.
C.J. Smith will pinch hit for Jernigan here. He's your Game 2 starter for the Bulldogs tomorrow. He is 3 for 25 on the season, a 120 batting average. One of his 3 hits, a home run with 3 RBI. He's 1 for 4 in conference play. Brown to the plate. Ball 1. C.J. Smith, however, a much better hitter than that batting average here in his sophomore season would have you believe. He had a huge series against Florida a year ago. Went 5 for 13 with a double and an RBI against the #1 ranked Gators. He ended up batting .300 last year, making 17 starts in center field. Scott Brown out to visit again.
Here, make sure that Brown and Clark are on the same page here with the signs. Like Brown crossed up Clark on that first pitch. And they're just going to make sure maybe go to touch signs.
Home plate umpire Tyler Simpson will go out there to break it up. One ball and no strikes to C.J. Smith, Georgia's Saturday starting pitcher, trying to win the Friday night game with his bat. Strike 1.
Really getting an earful from everybody on that one.
Except the Vanderbilt dugout.
That's right. That's right. Nearly everybody.
They didn't have a problem with it. 1-1 pitch to C.J. Smith. That's a ball 2. Another tight nail biter. Down to the final pitch Friday night in the SEC. 2 teams battling for the top spot in the SEC Eastern Division. 2-1 pitch. Foul down the left field line. Two balls, 2 strikes. C.J. Smith, Baseball Writers second team freshman All-American a year ago as a utility player. Two, called strike 3. And we are headed to the 11th inning. Brown gets the job done for Vanderbilt. They're batting when we get back. Veteran bat.
Yeah, and so, yeah, you're missing him. Jernigan, you know, the left field's kind of disappeared for you.
Can't use, you know.
I mean, he was the one guy that was kind of had something going. I guess Connor Tate, you know, Shunk's back out there, so he's probably done for the weekend. Maxwell's.
I mean, you got to send him back out there because you can't, like.
Yeah, you might as well use him up. Yeah,
you're invested, man. You can't.
That's got to be tough. Like the next day coming back and playing third. I mean,
yeah,
he's probably in a lot better shape. But you know, when I was pitching in high school, I mean, I would be sore for 2-3 days afterward.
And Tate over there at third base.
Oh, yes. I mean, he can field a ground ball now.
Just don't hit it in the air.
Hey, I was that same way. I hated fly balls. Oh, my gosh. I overran one by like 20 feet. I called the catcher off and everything, and I was up here, and it landed in like the first base coach's box.
They're tired. Tired. It's cold and I'm tired. Headed to the top of the 11th inning here at Foley Field. Started out as a sellout, over 3,000 here at the ballpark. Getting kind of late here in Athens. Some folks heading home. Aaron Shunk back out there for his third inning of relief work. And I think the point you made was well taken. I mean, this is it. I mean, this is all you're going to get out of Shunk this weekend from a relief standpoint if you're Georgia. And you certainly can't take him out at this point because you're invested so mightily in trying to get this win. It'd just be a crusher to lose it at this point.
Yeah, and being 2 arms short in the bullpen, you know, that's a tough.
Yep.
He's got a tough road ahead of him. Need to have a good start from C.J. Smith tomorrow and Tony Losi on Sunday.
And C.J. Smith is now your left fielder. Strike from Shunk, and it's 0-2. So your starting pitcher 15 hours from now is now playing left field. Did he go? He did. Strikeout for Shunk. It's number 2 for him.
Just a perfectly executed elevated fastball here ahead in the count. It's exactly where you want it. Just above his hands, but not high enough that he doesn't want to offer at it. So good job right there by Shunk.
Ethan Paul has struck out 3 times today. Two-2 game in the top of the 11th. Not anymore. 3-2 Vanderbilt. Second home run surrendered by Shunk as Ethan Paul, who had struck out 3 times tonight, just took him deep. And the Commodores on top for the first time tonight.
Yeah, another breaking ball just hangs up in the zone right there. And that's twice he's been hurt on the breaking ball up in the zone. A good job by Paul to stay through it. So you got to wonder at 35, 36 pitches, just getting a little bit tough for Shunk to execute and finish that pitch.
Wow, what a rally by Vanderbilt here tonight. And they've used the long ball late in this game off of Shunk, no less. And they now lead 3-2. Duvall at the plate. Strike 1 to him. Aaron Shunk, who had not allowed a home run in 14-plus innings and 12 appearances this season, has surrendered 2 here tonight over the right field wall. Crisanti with 1 out in the 9th to tie it. And Paul with 1 out here in the 11th to give the Commodores the lead. That's a high fly ball deep, but it's going to be within the ballpark. And Maxwell makes the grab just shy of the warning track for out number 2. Jason Gonzalez batting for the first time. Batting in that number 9 spot that produced the pinch hit home run for Grisanti back in the 9th. Sophomore out of Covina, California. .367 batting average in his 19th game of the season. That's going to fall for a base hit. Maybe more. C.J. Smith cuts it off. That'll be a long single for Gonzalez. Unless Georgia is able to rally and win this ball game, this is going to be a very difficult ball game for them to bounce back from tomorrow. It'll be a great gut check for this Georgia team. I think they're going to make a pitching change right here. Yeah, Shunk's going to go back to third base. And is that Glover? I think is going to come in and pitch. We'll figure it all out during this timeout. He had to do that. Shunk was done.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's a long way to stretch him out. A guy that's just used to throwing that one inning. Yeah. I mean, although he has come in and gotten the 5 outs, but it's usually in 20 pitches. He just has those quick outs. Oh man, yeah, this is going to be a tough one for Georgia to bounce back from, like you're saying.
In all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
I mean, strategically, because of all the things they've burned here tonight. They don't have Shunk anymore, so now who's your guy on the back end?
Yeah, he's Chris
and
too.
How many innings can CJ go tomorrow?
Yeah,
Georgia's junior left-hander out of Buford, Georgia High School, Justin Glover, comes in. Glover making his team-leading 14th appearance. He's 1-0 with a 2.25 ERA with 10 strikeouts, 4 walks, and 12 innings of work, surrendered 7 hits, 1.84 ERA. And I think in so many ways this is going to be tough for Georgia to bounce back from. I'm not saying it's going to be impossible by any means, but it's going to be a tough one and a real gut check for this Georgia team. Just the way this has unfolded. You had a 2-1 lead, needed to get more than just 2 more outs. You had your closer, a guy who's been virtually invincible over the last couple of seasons, and Vanderbilt got to him.
Yeah, and then they stretched him out over another inning and 2/3. So I think it's going to be tough for him to come back. Even if he can come back Sunday, it's going to be tough, and he's not going to be at 100%.
Yep. And down 2 guys in the bullpen with no Webb and no Proctor available again this weekend. Georgia is shorthanded in the bullpen.
Yeah, you got to hope for a good start and some offense.
Here's Cooper Davis. Throw over to first, chases back Jason Gonzalez. Georgia was 2 outs away from being 8-2 in the SEC, and with a 2-game lead on Vanderbilt in the division. And now they're 3 outs away from being tied with the Commodores for first at 7-3. .1-0 from Glover, backing off the plate, 2-0. Also erases what was an outstanding starting performance again by Emerson Hancock. Worked 7 innings of 1-run ball.
And you can definitely see now how difficult that is to do against this Vanderbilt offense. As Shunk, you mentioned, virtually invincible, gives up 2 home runs to the 7-hole guy and the 9-hole pinch hitter.
Yep.
And so they got depth and they got power in a lot of places.
And Drake Fellows may still end up walking out of here without a loss. Now 3-0. Well, he's definitely walking out of here without the loss. He's not going to get the loss now that the team. So he's going to be 6-0 at the end of the night, when it appeared that he was headed for his first loss of the season. Four-pitch walk.
Glover just unable to make the adjustment. All 4 pitches missing arm side. This means he's a little bit late getting that hand out in front, which means he's probably drifting forward a little too soon.
Austin Martin, who came in with the 4th best batting average in the nation at .449 and 0 for 5 tonight, with 4 consecutive groundouts. What are the odds that he doesn't get a base hit here? Yeah, mathematically, the odds are in his favor.
Yeah, this is not the guy you want to see up with a man at second base.
Glover comes to the plate with a strike. Go-ahead run is already plated, and Vandy looking to add more here in the top of the 11th. Ball 1. Commodores staring at back-to-back extra inning victories. They did it on Tuesday night, coming from behind, down 4-2, going to the 9th against Western Kentucky and beat them 5-4 and 10, and down 2-1 to Georgia with an out here in the 9th, and now on the verge of a victory, leading 3-2 here in the top of the 11th. Spin move, and the ball is going to be knocked down by Talley to keep it from going into center field. Martin, 12-game hitting streak in jeopardy here, but he's had a number of reprieves this evening and getting a chance to bat for the 6th time here in the 11th. 1-1. Here's a strike on the edge, and it's 1-2. One-two pitch from Glover. Goes all the way to the backstop. Everybody moves up 90 feet.
Just goes right through the 5-hole again. You see, he gets down in position, just brings that glove up.
And certainly Georgia deflated. You can tell from the crowd's deflated, but this is a huge pitch right here because a base hit by Vanderbilt puts the game virtually out of reach. Georgia still has a chance if they can get the out here. Instead, that ball is hit towards the gap in right center field, and diving catch! Wow, what a play by Riley King to keep Georgia in the game. Riley King, spectacular grab to rob Austin Martin, and Georgia still got a chance when we come back and they bat in the bottom of the 11th. That ball, it's like,
oh, it's over.
Everybody
Yeah.
go ahead and crank up the car. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially Georgia. I mean, they're in the.
Yeah, they got the dead zone here.
Maxwell gives him a shot.
Well, you got Rogers has had hits his last 2 times up.
Yeah, Rogers has looked okay. You know, Marshall can sting it, but the way he's caught tonight, you can't block that out of your mind, you know?
Yeah. And he struck out 3 times in a little weak pop-up.
Yeah, that's right. Total distance on his at-bats, 70 feet.
Exactly.
3 strikeouts.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to question a little bit of that breaking ball. I mean, you get burned with it once. You just.
Is that him, Ethan Paul? I assume that's. Ethan Paul has been the hero here tonight after striking out 3 times. Did not fail to get the job done in the top of the 11th. Depositing that Aaron Schunk breaking ball over the bleachers out there in right field to give Vanderbilt their first lead of the night. And now with the Bulldogs batting here in the bottom of the 11th, Vanderbilt 3 outs away from winning the opening game of this series.
Yeah, it's so impressive Paul able to do that after going for the hat trick.
Rogers hits this one to center field, but it doesn't have enough carry. Davis out there for the first out of the 11th. Let's see if Georgia pinch hits for Marshall here. And it's going to be Austin Bigar. So Austin Bigar will bat for Shane Marshall, who finishes an 0 for 4 night. Bigar 280, 7 for 25 with a home run and 7 RBI, making his 16th game appearance. He's 2 for 7 in conference play. With that homer and 3 RBI we just told you about coming in league action. Strike 1 to Bigar. Gives you a better threat at the plate than Marshall at this point.
And Bigar is definitely a power threat. The type of guy who could tie this thing up one swing of the bat for sure.
Calls time as he grows weary of waiting on Tyler Brown.
I think Brown's having a tough time reading the signals.
(0-1). Shot down the right field line. Let's see if this is extra bases. Bigar hits first and motors to second. Gets there without sliding. Stand-up double. Pinch hit for Austin Bigar to get a rally going here for Georgia in the bottom of the 11th.
Yeah, a great piece of hitting right there. Not a bad pitch. Brings it back over the plate just a hair. But Bigar goes with it right down that line. And a huge one-out double right there. Breathes some new life into this Georgia Bulldogs team.
And how about Austin Bigar? You got to give that young man a lot of credit. The number 3 catcher looked like he was buried on the depth chart here at Georgia, but has taken advantage of opportunities because of injuries to the catchers in front of him. And Tucker Maxwell. Ball 1, Tucker Maxwell. So Georgia trying to come off the deck after getting knocked to the deck in the top of the 11th. And what a great catch by Riley King to keep Georgia in the ball game at the end of the 11th. Here's the 1-0 to Maxwell. Ball 2.
And again, Brown doesn't have to give in right here. You got Shepard, a good hitter on deck, but that first base is open with one out. Tough to double up Maxwell and Shepard, but you got a place to put them, so you don't have to give in, and Maxwell is a power threat.
2-0 pitch. Ball 3. Tying run at second base for Georgia with an out here in the bottom of the 11th.
I think Maxwell may have the green light right here.
Let's see if he does. 3-0 pitch. Popped him up, back behind us. 3-1.
Yeah, just a little too big on that. He got in that situation his last at bat. Got a little big on a good pitch. Just got to shorten up a hair and trust that the location of the pitch will provide the power. Man, really just got to hit one through the infield at this point and try and tie the thing up.
Yep. 3 balls and a strike to Tucker Maxwell. 0 for 3 tonight. Big swing and a miss at a 92-mile-per-hour fastball, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, now you're in the 2-strike battle, so you got to shorten up. Again, just try and put something in play.
Bigar down at second, representing the tying run. Georgia led virtually the entire night until Walker Grisanti pinch hit homer tied it in the top of the ninth. 3-2. Cold strike 3 on the corner. Maxwell didn't like it, and Georgia's bench did not either. And now Georgia down to their final out.
I tell you, this is borderline at best. I think that's not a pitch that Georgia's been getting on the defensive side of the ball. I think that's why they're a little upset. But credit Clark, great job right there at staying quiet and keeping that ball inside of his body. Definitely sold it as a strike.
And Cam Shepard steps to the plate. Ball 1 to Shepard. Riley King, who made that spectacular grab to end the top of the 11th, is on deck. Will he get a chance to bat? Here's the 1-0 from Brown. That's in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. What an incredible Friday night matchup here in the SEC, what you come to expect in this conference. Vandy on the verge of an upset victory here. Upset in that they were down in the ninth. 1-1, swing and a miss, and now Georgia down to their final strike.
Boy, and Brown has just been spectacular, making the pitch when he needs to.
One ball and 2 strikes, 2 down. Bottom of the 11th. And Brown to the plate. Ball 2. Commodores trying to pull even with the Bulldogs atop the SEC Eastern Division. And a strike away from doing that. 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. Three balls, 2 strikes. With Bigar, the tying run down at second base. taking his time, and now the 3-2 pitch. In the air, right field, that should do it. Blade. And the Vanderbilt Commodores have come from behind to knock off the Georgia Bulldogs and pull into a first-place tie in the SEC East at 7-3.
Yeah, and a great ball game, really, overall. Vanderbilt able to come up with the 2 big home runs. That was really the difference. Had 2 outstanding starts from both starters. Closers were good. Chunk, unfortunately, gives up the big bomb and the go-ahead as well, but really a well-matched game here and 2 well-matched clubs.
And we talked about the seniors for this Vanderbilt ball club, how they have 5 seniors, all of them playing important roles on this Vanderbilt team. It was Walker Grisante, one of the seniors, steps up with the pinch hit, home run in the 9th to tie it. And then Ethan Paul, another of the seniors, with a home run to win it in the 11th.
Yeah, huge leadership coming up big in a big moment. It's a great win for Vanderbilt. Georgia's got to figure out a way to bounce back tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern, game number 2 of this series, and we'll have it for you right here on SEC Network Plus. And now for Jason Jacobs, Carter Mills, and our entire SEC Network team, I'm Matt Stewart. Good night from Athens, where Vanderbilt comes back and beats Georgia in 11 innings.